This is Summer Breeze with Stuart Cameron on TG9 Radio.
Yes, hello and welcome to Summer Breeze with me, Stuart Cameron, and today we're live at the Royal Highland Show in Ingliston in Edinburgh. With me is Stuart McFarlane, Hugh Brown and Simon Walton, and throughout the course of the next 4 hours we'll be bringing you a flavour of one of the highlights of the social calendar in Scotland. And let's bring one of these intrepid reporters in right now in our little studio next to the cows, who may well make an appearance between now and the end of the programme as well. So Hugh Brown, always a busy event here, isn't it, in Edinburgh?
It certainly is, Stuart. And actually, the cows are down below us. We're on the upper floor. They're down below.
Yeah, so you still smell them, though.
I certainly can. And yes, and other ways they've been around, the same as the horses, if you know what I mean. Yes.
Absolutely. Now, listen, we have struck lucky today, haven't we? Because yesterday it was absolutely lashing down with rain. Today it is glorious sunshine. It's about 21 degrees. And of course, you used to be the STV weatherman, didn't you, back in the day?
Many years ago. And I can tell you, it is indeed a really nice day. The sun is out. Bit cloudy, but there is also a summer breeze blowing.
Oh my goodness me.
Very appropriate, I think.
Well done.
It's lovely, and I have to say, I think it's even busier than it was this time last year.
If that could be possible.
It's just lovely, and everybody, there's such a lovely atmosphere about it. Everybody's so smiley and happy, and loads of kids, because as you well know, kids go free to the show. They get into the show free. So if you bring your 10 children, Stuart, then they all get in for free.
Oh, it's really worth it, isn't it?
It is.
It is 11, by the way.
Is it
anyway, now, as you were a weatherman from the past, tell me the answer to this question: long-range weather forecasts. Why? Discuss.
Well, it's a good question, and they're not totally accurate.
They're not accurate at all.
No, if you look at a weather app, the BBC weather app, for instance, and you look ahead, it does take you 2 weeks ahead, and it's a bit of a guessing game, really. And in fact, I did it for Ingliston, and it said that this time last week, it said today was going to have a drizzle and all the rest of it. And look at it, it's absolutely glorious.
Yeah. So why do they bother?
I think because
it's fiction, isn't it?
It's strange enough. It's partially for the farming industry. Because they want
but if
to know
it's not accurate,
that's true.
Yes.
And if you go on to 3 different weather forecast apps, you'll find usually 3 different forecasts.
Yes, waste of time totally. People ploughing money into this, and it just doesn't. Just look out the window. That's the best thing.
Yes.
Now, last year, anyone who remembers that we were down here for Summer Breeze, the highlight of the show was you milking a cow. It wasn't a real one, it was a plastic cow, but it did concern a few of our listeners. I think they went into therapy afterwards. What are you doing this year?
Well, I was going to do sheep shearing, but they wouldn't let me.
Thank goodness for that.
Poor sheep would have been on our dinner table tomorrow if I had done sheep shearing. And I wanted to do pole climbing, but I wasn't really good at that. And axe throwing was the other thing, which is on in the forestry.
Careful now.
But they wanted me to be the volunteer that stood against the wall, and I said no to that.
Yes, okay. Well, we will find out what you've been up to earlier on today throughout the course of the programme. We're here till 6 o'clock. Simon's out and about as well at the moment as our roving reporter, and we'll be joining him shortly. But I think actually we can go outside, because the West Lothian Schools Pipe Band are parading up and down the main stretch. Let's have a quick listen, see if in fact that's happening. Yeah, here they are. Thank you, Simon, for the tip-off there. This gets you into the mood for today. Does that make you proud to be Scottish? There we are. That was the West Lothian Schools Pipe Band just outside our studio, which is, as I say, in the middle of the Highland Hall. So do come along if you want to say hello to us sometime today. As I say, we're here till 6 o'clock with plenty of music for you as well throughout the afternoon. And this is gorgeous to start off with. Paul McCartney and Wings. Oh, Oh, a cracking way to start off the programme. That is music from Paul McCartney and Wings and Band on the Run. Stuart McFadyen's joined us. Hello. How
Hello.
you doing? Good to see
Not bad. Yes, and you. Hello, everyone.
You were here yesterday, weren't you, in the rain?
Yes, I picked the worst day and the worst time of the worst day. And I say worst day only purely because of weather. It's an awful lot busier today. I'd say there's 2 to 3 times as many people out in the footpaths than there were yesterday, but I think that has a lot to do with it was the weather, of course.
Now, first clip from you today. You've been out and about at Redpath Tyres.
Yes, I've gone local. I've gone back to my roots. Neil Redpath of Redpath Tyres, a company now just over 50 years old. I think Hugh Brown caught up with them a couple of years ago. And of course, they have bases in Duns, but as I discovered, much further afield as well. Neil, thank you very much for taking the time this morning to speak to me. It's good to see the show again, first of all.
Yeah, this is now, we've been to the show for 26 years as we've had a stand, and this is only our second year on the new pitch down at the more into the agricultural area, which is a major part of our business.
Now today you've got something quite interesting behind me, because you've got a means of demonstrating how you repair some of these agricultural tyres, which I'd imagine will be quite a bit different in terms of a challenge than an ordinary motor car tyre.
Yes, but it's the same process. We can repair not so much on a car with sidewall repairs, but on a tractor, truck and earth mover side of it. So we have a dedicated team. We have the largest vulcanised repair plant in Europe is built at Duns. Mostly because of the dedicated workforce in there, because it's a very, very, very skilled job to do it, and we have the largest autoclave in the UK built there, which is basically a big pressure cooker, and we cook the tyres back, so put raw rubber in and bring them back to life and make them back into service, because some of them are rather expensive when you put a hole in the side of it.
I can well imagine. Now, of course, your own presence as a company started off in Berwickshire and Duns, expanded to Kelso. See a lot of vehicles up in and around Edinburgh and the Central Belt. Gradually, you've really expanded the enterprise. Yeah,
we've now 14 depots, and we've stretched. Basically, our top one is in Black Isle above Inverness, then down into Inverness, right across to Peterhead, and everywhere in between. So, you know, we've got 100 people work for us, and dedicated staff into that, 54 service vehicles to run out to the jobs and do them. So yeah, it's grown from a very small company, but it's still family owned, and we are there every day controlling everything going on. So,
and I'm sure you've been asked this question before, but any time that I'm along Station Road in Duns and into the industrial estate, you must have, advertising the business, the most impressive tyre that I've ever seen. And I mean, you collected that or purchased it many years ago now.
Well, it was actually one that had come in for a vulcanised repair when we used to have open cast coal mines in Scotland and Northern England. So that actually came off a dump truck that was working behind the Iron Brew factory in Glasgow on a big open cut coal mine, and the damage was too severe, so we filled the hole in and used it as a signpost. But bearing in mind that that tyre there was around about £25,000 when it was brand new, and so they were a bit upset when even we couldn't repair it.
And the dimensions are quite something.
Yeah, it's quite. It weighs about it's about nearly 2 tons, and it'll be the same, basically the same height as almost a double-decker bus. So it's quite a big tyre. But we have even bigger ones of them that had come in from overseas to be vulcanised repaired. They are sitting waiting to go back, and they're the largest tyres in the world. Production tyres are sitting at Duns now to be repaired. So when you're getting them in from overseas to get repaired now as well, it's a fairly big feather in our cap as well.
Super. Well, Neil, thank you very much for your time. It's a busy stand. We'll let you get back to work.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, that's Neil Redpath talking to Stuart McFadyen earlier on today. Well, when you send Hugh Brown out into the Royal Highland Show arena, you never quite know what's going to catch his eye. And to kick things off, he went to a burger stand with a rather unusual name.
Well, I've made my way to Well Hung and Tender, which is a burger stall, but a very special burger stall. With me now is Ollie from Well Hung. Ollie, tell us a wee bit about the company itself.
Well, the company is family run, so we all know each other really well. We all get on well, and I think that's kind of how we, I guess, do well with our selling, and it's kind of how we run it. We all get along, and it's all great. Yep.
Been on the go since I think about 2001, so this is about 25 years, and it was two folk called David and Sarah McPherson that set it up. Why did they do that?
I think they wanted to change how fresh burger vans make their food, because all the produce here is homegrown at their own farm. So I think they wanted to make their burgers fresh rather than just the kind of processed things you get everywhere else.
That's very important, isn't it? Because we're all hearing about fresh food and not with preservatives and all the rest of it in it. And you can see from the look of the burgers, they are completely fresh.
Yeah, they are. They're great. If you'd like to try one.
I'm going to have one in just a second, yes.
Brilliant.
Tell me about the name then, because Well Hung is a wonderful name, but tell me about how that came about, do you know?
I'm not too sure, actually, no. I don't know. I'm not too sure. I mean, you can see the ends hanging off the E on the logo. That's about all I can tell you, to be honest.
I think it's about how long they actually hang the beef for before they use it, possibly. That would be my understanding, but I might be wrong. Don't ask. I come and work for the company.
All right. Yeah, that's probably it then, yeah.
Free burgers.
Free burgers, exactly. Yeah, I love it.
You love it?
I love my free burger, yeah. Gets me through my shift.
I'll bet it does. And the Royal Highland Show must be something special, because you'll meet a lot of very interesting people and serve a lot of interesting people.
Yeah, you do. God, I mean, the amount of people that you go through, I see a lot of familiar faces here as well, friends, family, people that I know. So, just working here, it's great to catch up with people and get along. It's good having a chat with people when you're serving them as well, you know. I mean, there's people from Yorkshire that I met last night. There's people from Newcastle that I've met as well. So it's a big event, huge event, yeah.
Well, as they say, the proof is in the pudding, or in this case, the eating. I'm going to have to try this, Ollie, and see what I think. It's a lovely. Is it brioche rolls as well?
It's a brioche roll, yeah.
Lovely brioche roll. Here we go. Right. Oh. Never talk with your mouth full.
I know.
That is delicious, and you can taste the quality of the beef.
Yeah, it's good flavour, well seasoned. So yeah, nothing you could really ask for.
Well, enjoy the rest of the show. I'll enjoy the rest of my burger. Thanks for talking to me.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers.
You are a blagger, aren't you, Hugh
Of
Brown?
course I am.
£11.50 burger and you get it for nothing.
Yes, I mean there are over 100 food stalls at the Royal Highland Show, and I think I've been at them all.
You've had a sample from each as
Yes,
well.
yes.
I think you were very cruel asking that young man about the name.
I was.
We know what it came out as.
Yeah, well, but then
And what were you suggesting? Something about...
how well hung the cow is,
Yeah.
and how long it's hung for.
Yes, absolutely. I think we should play some music. Voice of the Beehive. Remember this? Love that track. That's Voice of the Beehive. Very topical here at the Royal Highland Show. With me, Stuart Cameron, Stuart McFarlane's here, Hugh Brown, Simon Walton. We'll be checking in with him very, very shortly. But after the next piece of music, we're going to meet up with the head of the Royal Highland Show. That is David Tennant. Obviously, this is day 3 now. We've had 2 exciting days already. The weather's been reasonable, and of course tomorrow people can come back again. Always very, very popular. But what is the core business, effectively? Because it is a business. A lot of business goes on here.
Yeah, it's a big part, especially on Thursday and Friday. They are our key agricultural days, and you'll see, if you go up into the machinery area, you'll see a lot of farmers going around kicking some tyres and hoping to buy a tractor. So that, if we get that feedback at the end of the show, we're happy that we've done our job. People are being introduced to new brands and new products all the time, and always so much innovation happening here. Yeah, absolutely. Again, it goes back to your point about what we do. We have a roughly a 70% retention rate in our trade stand, so we get a lot of people coming back, but we also have a good influx each year of new things, and that's really quite key when in our planning process.
So plenty for the family, obviously,
Absolutely.
and they keep coming back year after year after year and looking for different things as well. But it's kind of like, it's almost in the culture now. People have to go to the Royal Highland Show at least one day a year.
Yeah, absolutely. And the good thing about the show, it has a little bit for everyone, and it's really hard to get around in one day, so it means you need to come back to see the bits you didn't see the previous year.
And of course, children go free.
Yes, absolutely. That's one of we're really proud to still offer that.
And brilliant educational opportunities as well for schools. I mean, we've been round today as well, and there's loads and loads of children and, all being harnessed together and with their eyes wide open and being introduced to the farming community for the very first time, a lot of them.
Yeah, that's a really important part of the show. We partner with the charity, the Royal Highland Education Trust, who are going to have brought through about 7,500 school kids over the last couple of days. So that's why we're here. That is to make sure that people know where their food comes from. Is
there like a kind of template for the Royal Highland Show? Because it's been going a long time. You know what works, you know what doesn't work, and the agricultural section's always in the agricultural section. Everybody knows once they've been here once, they kind of pretty familiar with it. But is there a template, and you keep more or less to that, apart from obviously a few tweaks?
I mean, the essence and the core ingredients of the Royal Highland Show are the same, but how you put them together and how it looks on the day, it's kind of where you put your own stamp on it. Before 1960, the show used to travel around different parts of the country, so that I don't envy the organisers back then. So at least we get to stay in the one place when we put the show on. But it's all about that variety, making sure you need to make sure you've got something new, making sure that it's relevant.
And can you get to enjoy it yourself, or is there so much to do, or have you've kind of handed it over to other people? You've been delegating.
I'm generally the most happy on Sunday night when everyone's gone home safe with a smile on their face.
And what happens come Monday? What happens then? When does the debrief take place, and how do you evaluate the success of the event?
Next week the show will disappear. So that in a week the whole show will be broken down, and then that's when we start to get into our debrief period, and that will take a couple of months. So we'll survey and we'll speak to people who have come and get their feedback.
A lot of people will kind of want to know what happens once the doors are closed and it's over for another year. What actually happens between now and June 2027?
So we have a big board of directors, about 49 of them, and they create the committee. Our committee structure, so we will feed the feedback back into them, and then they will task us as a staff team to go away and come up with solutions. So it's a constant process of trying to improve and nudge things on a little bit.
The farming community, the banking community, and lots of other communities within it. It's a massive exercise.
Yeah, and that's part of the beauty of it, bringing all these different people together. When you think about it, it shouldn't really work, to be honest, but it does, and that's again a bit of the magic of the Royal Highland Show.
Yeah, well, it sounds like a dream job for a lot of people listening in.
I've been with the society for about 10 years now, so I'm enjoying it. Hoping to stay for a little bit longer.
Thanks for all your efforts and your team as well.
Great, thank you very much.
Well, summer records don't come any better than that. Chris Rea and the wonderful On the Beach. You're listening to Summer Breeze right here on TD9 Radio 2 with me, Stuart Cameron, also Hugh Brown, and also Stuart McFadyen. Simon Walton, who'll be joining us very, very shortly. He's out and about at the moment. But Hugh's been out and about this morning. Throughout the programme, we'll be bringing you plenty of his interviews as well. Earlier, he visited the Land Rover stand.
I'm now with Zara from Pentland Motors, and on the stand, which contains absolutely amazing Range Rovers and Land Rovers. And Zara, you couldn't get a more farming and agricultural motor than the Land Rover and Range Rover, could you?
No, we do so well at this show. It's just the perfect range of cars. We get to meet so many of our own existing clients as well. It's such an important event for us, and then we get to showcase the newest of the Defender product, as you said, Discovery, Range Rover. It's just the perfect fit for the show.
What makes these cars so perfect for farmers, do you think, and the farming community?
They just don't stop. They are built for every terrain. You can take them to the farm in the morning, and then in the evening you can go to a gala ball. They just fit every single scenario. So they're rugged, they're built for strength, but they're also beautiful.
Has to be said they're also expensive if you buy them new. I mean, you can be well over 100 towards £150,000, can't you? So is your market mainly in new or in used?
We are complete mix. We've got 6 businesses across Scotland doing new and used sales, advantages in buying both, but the used ones are all, approved used cars, go through an amazing checklist in the workshop, so either way you're getting exactly what you pay for.
What's the best selling one just now then? What are you selling most of?
Defender, at the show, the commercial vehicles, and beautiful big Range Rover.
And I mentioned cost. What does that Range Rover cost roughly?
This one here is probably just sitting around about the 100,000 mark.
It's a lot of money, so I mean obviously it's a lot for people to... Did it have a reputation for a while as a bit of a yuppie vehicle, if you like?
Not in Scotland, I wouldn't say. Certainly, maybe further south, they don't understand the practicality, the engines, the incredible product. It's maybe just a little bit more for how you look in it. But in Scotland, we definitely appreciate how amazing the vehicles are.
I think for me the difficulty would be parking, because the car park spaces are far too small for these big cars.
No, the parking sensors, the cameras are incredible. So you'll get a 3D view, from above. You'll get every beep and whistle if you go anywhere near anything. Trust me, you can park that the same way you park a Mini.
I believe you thousands wouldn't, Zara. Well, when I win the lottery, I'll buy one.
We will keep this one on hold for you.
Zara, thanks. Have a great show.
Thank you, you too.
There was Zara from Pentland Motors talking to Hugh Brown.
This is Summer Breeze with Stuart Cameron on TD9 Radio.
Joining me now at the Royal Highland Show is Kay Adam, who is the chair designate and will be the chair next year. So it's all very exciting times for you, isn't it, Kay?
It is very exciting, yes.
Tell me a little bit about your own background, because you've been involved in farming, particularly in the beef side.
So I'm a farmer. I farm in partnership with my husband and 2 boys up at Glams near Forfar. And the Royal Highland Show has played a massive part of my life growing up. My parents exhibited cattle, and from an early age the Highland Show was always the big date on the summer calendar. I was at the show when I was 3 months old, getting pushed around in a pram.
So it was inevitable.
Yeah, my dad was very passionate about showing his animals, and it's something that when I got the opportunity later on to become a member of the board, I didn't think twice about it. I thought it was a great honour, and I was really fortunate to be put in the beef team, and I was chief steward of cattle line safety, and I also was really fortunate to be chief steward of young farmers, something that I feel very passionate about the next generation coming forward. And I was a young farmer member myself, and I got so much from young farmers growing up that it's time to give back to that. So enjoyed my time immensely. My shows up until this year have been stewarding in the cattle rings. I am a judge myself, and I enjoy looking at the cattle. It's a great pleasure. This year's been different. I've been more on a guide, guiding people and showing people. I'm showing the show off to visitors this year, which gives me great pleasure as well. I've seen lots more of the show this year than I've ever seen, and we've got some amazing trade stands, some great innovation further up the show field, and lots. I mean, we have been really well supported by our exhibitors this year, so lots and lots of lovely livestock to view this year at the show.
Well, early in the week I was here on Thursday and went round the show, and it was all very, very interesting, and there's lots of kids, school kids there, from like 5-6 years old, and their eyes are wide open, and it's just so refreshing, isn't it, to see these youngsters taking an interest and loving every minute of it for their day out, and it's bringing that side of it to them to fire their imagination, just like happened to you when you were young.
Yeah, so it's amazing. We have these school visits come to the show, and the show is always on. Schools are still in term, which is very important to us to get all these youngsters out on their school trips, and school trips to remember. and getting up and close with the animals, finding out where your food comes from. I was in the vet centre this morning. The kids are amazing. They're queuing up to make scones and milk a cow. It's just giving something back to that generation, and the memories that when they go shopping with their parents, they'll maybe look, where's that food come from, Mum? We want to hopefully eat Scottish or British.
One area that you take a big interest in is the young handlers, the under-16s who are getting involved in farming on a practical level sometimes for the first time, and that's so important.
So we have a big young handlers competition that runs on the Sunday. So we have sheep, dairy, we have beef, we also have heavy horse young handlers and goats as well. This is the competition where the kids are in the middle and doing their best. It's the kids that get judged, it's not the animals. They are getting judged on their ability and how to show an animal and how to show it with their knowledge to their best ability. The funny thing is looking at all the parents who are more competitive, hanging over the gate, trying to tell their kids what way to do. And I often tell the kids to go away and come back after when the prize giving's on. And these are the future of our show. They then get the showing bug and they go home and say, we want to take cattle, sheep, ponies and or goats to the show. And I've watched many of these young handlers come through, and some of them have even judged our show now. So it's really rewarding, but it's really important for our show going forward that we look after the succession and the next generation.
Well, we wish you all the best with it. It's exciting times ahead, obviously, and thanks for sharing what goes on behind the scenes and also talking about the young handlers, which is, as I say, very, very important to you. Thanks very much.
Oh, thank you.
Well, it's about time we heard from Simon Walton. I think he's been out and about today, so without further ado, let's cross over and find out who he's got with him.
Thanks, Stuart. I'm with Stephen from CB Radios of Air. Stephen, it's a pleasure to meet you, but I never expected to see you here. CB radio is not something I expected to see in the 21st century.
No, I've been going for maybe 25 years now, so we have. And it's not as popular as it used to be in the 80s and the 90s, but the CBs, they're more a purpose now than anything else.
And what would that purpose be?
Agricultural use in the tractors, boys in the Land Rovers, when they're off-roading, they use them a lot as well. The heavy haulage uses them for contacting each other when they're escorting.
So that's really what's brought you to the Royal Highland show here at Ingliston. It's necessity rather than a hobby.
No, definitely, yes. It's few and far between now. They put them into their houses and their cars. That just doesn't really happen very much at all.
So have you been seeing a lot of old faces here and new faces?
Well, there's a lot of old faces coming and saying I didn't think CBs existed anymore.
And you've been saying to them, I didn't think you existed anymore.
Well, that's true. Fellas saying, well, we wouldn't be here if it didn't exist. So, no, we do pretty well with them. There's not many companies do it any longer, to be honest with you.
So if you're using this sort of equipment out in the field, I mean, what sort of distances can you communicate over?
If they're set up properly, you can get 3 to 5 mile, even longer by either side, to be honest with you.
So if your flock's got a bit dispersed, you can still, with the help of a colleague with a CB radio, round them up again comfortably.
Oh, yes, a lot of the agricultural contractors use them for if they're on narrow lanes and bits like that, instead of meeting each other with their trailers. So they'll contact each other to say, I'm coming up the lane. So there's definitely a use for it.
And tell me, Stephen, are you unique in Scotland?
I would probably say yes. There's not many other people do it in Scotland at all. There's getting less, so that's good for us.
But you're still going strong, as I can see from your very well stocked.
Yes, we stock. And if we don't have it, we'll get it within a couple of days. We do a lot of truck accessories as well, air horns, air duster guns, a large range.
Is there anyone casual like myself that's still got an interest in CB radio as a hobby?
Well, we do get some people coming in saying we want to get back into CBs, but we will say to them, listen, it's not what it used to be. Do your research, because I don't want to sell you something that's you're going to say this is useless. We wouldn't do that.
Well, you're very magnanimous and you're very honest in that respect.
Well,
Stephen,
we have to be.
It's always a pleasure speaking with you. Thanks very much indeed for your time.
You got a copy on me, Big Ben? Come on. So keep the bugs off your glass and the bears off your tail.
C.W. McCall, who lived to the ripe old age of 94. 4 years and brought out some really great stuff. And he also did Convoy. Is that a cow in the background? Was it you, Hugh, with indigestion? I'm not quite sure.
I'm just wondering if Bully from Bullseye was trying outside. I mean, we can't actually get in and out the door very easily. The code's a bit wonky, so maybe Bully's outside. Maybe there's a couple of tankards for you.
Oh, there you are. There you are. How about that? But yeah, the cows are getting restless, Hugh.
Yes. Changing the subject completely. C.W. McCall's real name?
Bill Fries or Chip Davis?
Yes, he was.
Chip
actually,
Davis was his
and
producer.
I knew his brother French fries.
You probably ate him. Wouldn't surprise
and
me
he
at
had
all.
a cousin who's a newsagent, McCall's in Glasgow.
Oh yes, very good.
Oh, another punchline there from Stuart McFarlane this time.
Yeah.
Very rare event. Now, CB radio, that's kind of like passed you by, didn't it, Stuart? Because you're a youngster.
The CB part did. I met up in 1992, let's get this right, late November, early December 1991 it would be, with a chap who lived in the same street as me who was into amateur radio.
So ham radio?
Morse code.
Oh, right.
And it was communicating.
He wasn't working
with,
for the
with
Germans, was he?
No, but he was a code breaker during the Second World War. Still Highland. Was his name. And I, for my Duke of Edinburgh bronze, for a skill, I spent a whole year, Monday afternoons after school for a couple of hours, learning to improve my Morse code skills.
Have you forgotten it all now?
And the vast majority, I'm sad to say I have, because given the dates away there, we're talking in excess of 34 years ago now.
Yeah, because the film with Ali McGraw and Chris Christopherson was 1986, I think, wasn't it? 76.
76, yeah, it would be no later than 1980, I would say.
Yeah, it must have been a 70s hit,
Yeah,
doesn't
it's got to be a 70s
Because it
film.
would come out much the same sort of time as your Burt Reynolds
Smoking the Bandit.
Smoking the Bandit, and
With
the
Jerry
Cannonball Run was 1981.
Yeah.
But you know, I kind of group it together with Hooper and those sorts of films. But as I say, you know, 1980, possibly as early as 76, would be that vintage.
Yeah, but I was really surprised that, you know, CB radio making a comeback. No one's told anyone.
No, and I think that the CB radio, I think, in some senses, was a forerunner to what we know as community radio, because although you have obviously music, and of course TD9 Radio 2 that we're on at the moment is community radio for Hawick and surrounding district. And I suppose in the day, if there hadn't been that kind of thing in the internet, then you would have, this station probably would have existed almost as a CB radio station.
But it's a mystery.
There was an additional element as well, because if you were on the move, and if you were a trucker on your own, you'd spend a lot of time, quite often travelling at night on your own as well. So it was probably a really important social mechanism. You know, because, you know, if you're going on your own as a long distance lorry driver, and the only connection you have with people is maybe in roadside cafes and things like that, to be out on the roads and that, have that means of communication, I would think for a lot of those drivers would be quite significant.
Yeah, and before CB radio, we all kind of under the blankets, this is after the Radio Luxembourg time, that, you know, you were listening to kind of police radio and the scanners and things like that, which was all very popular back then.
That was just you, Stuart.
Yeah, a glimpse into Stuart Cameron's nocturnal activities.
I needed my beauty sleep. I needed my beauty sleep, and I still do. The only other thing I remember about truck drivers and things was Yorkie bars.
Oh yes, the Rolling On by Cirrus.
Yes,
the theme tune to Yorkie. Yeah,
they probably had the best Easter egg box, and it was a consistent design for a very long time, because it was in the shape of a skip.
A skip.
Oh,
remember
right.
that?
No, I don't remember that.
And they had they had a very good sort of cardboard design. There'll be one or two listeners out there that'll be nodding. There might be several more that will be shaking their heads. But I would
raisin Yorkies, they were nice.
Yeah, rum and raisin.
No, just raisin Yorkies.
Was it?
No,
no rum in there?
No, I don't
Are you
think
sure
so.
about that?
No, I think just raisin Yorkies.
I don't think there's any...
no, it's biscuit and raisin.
Biscuit.
Yes.
I don't think there's any need to dabble with, or dabble, I should say, not dabble, dabble with, you know, the original.
Yes.
No.
You know, of course, they were taking over Roundtree, and is it any better or worse? That's a question for listeners.
Oh, we're going down a rabbit hole now, aren't we?
A whole chocolate debate.
Yes.
No.
Shall we change the subject?
Yes.
Because more and more people are investing in camper vans and motorhomes. Okay, and Hugh caught up with one West Lothian company a little bit early on today, who of course will be very happy to sell you one.
I'm now with Jamie from Calder Camper and Motorhomes from East Calder. Jamie, we're outside a beautiful camper van, which looks absolutely brand new, but it's not, is it?
No, we import the vehicles from Japan and give them a good thorough check over before the vans are converted by ourselves in-house. Customer gets a good choice of interior finish, and the vehicles are well checked over before they go out for a safety aspect, and any issues or that, they're well maintained.
I thought this one was a new one, but in fact it's a good few years old, isn't it?
Yeah, so this was 2009, it's first registered, and it's had a machine polish and all scratches taken out of it with a machine buff. So it's well looked after. The bodywork was corrected before it was sold the first time. It's a recent trade-in.
So what's the market then for motorhomes and camper vans? Has it grown in recent years?
Yeah, I would say, especially vehicles this size, with the Velfire or the Alfards are very, because they're still small and compact, but they're quite deceiving in size. So they're good for everyday travel, but also good for up to 4 people to travel in and obviously sleep in and enjoy. You can also have added extras for your awning as well. But yeah, no, the market is very vast, and we're doing very well.
It's got everything you could possibly need for a holiday, hasn't it?
Yeah, with this size of vehicle, the only thing that you're missing is a toilet, but we can provide a porta potty and stuff. But a lot of campsites, if you're on a campsite, they have facilities that you can use, toilets, showers, etc. But yeah, everything else is in the van. So you've got your induction hob or a gas cooker, your sink, fridge, freezer, your grill or a microwave.
And can you hire these?
Not at the moment. It is something that we're looking at, but hopefully in the pipeline, something that we're hopefully going to bring out.
Very importantly, cost. Where do they start? Where do they go up to?
The cost varies depending on the age, model. So you could have a 10 series Alphard, which is a little bit older, depending on mileage, but the area kind of for these kind of vehicles can start potentially mid-20s up to maybe mid-30s, depending on age, mileage and stuff.
And how long are they good for, if you like? What's the sort of lifespan of one of these then? If this one's a 2009, how long will they go on for?
They're very robust, so as long as you maintain them, they've been very well looked after. And as I said, when we get them in, we give them a good thorough check over, and then if there's any issues, we will obviously look to rectify them. But as long as your upkeep of your service and an MOT, everything, I can't imagine why there would be any kind of issues. Generally, I would say, with that being a 2009, we have one down there which is a 2012, so the age varies. It just depends on the condition of the vehicle when we get them in, but as I said, we'll work through and make it a good roadworthy vehicle, and make sure it's all good to go.
They look absolutely fantastic. I hope you have a good show. Thanks, Jamie.
No, but thank you very much, and thanks for your time.
Yes, that's Hugh ordering a couple of them for his summer holiday. Now, based in Greenlaw, BE Uniforms are one of a number of Scottish Borders companies with a presence at this year's show. And Stuart McFadyen caught up with one of the two brothers now running the business.
Ross, great to see you here, another Berwickshire-based company. I've just been over at Redpath Tyres speaking to Neil and the team. What has brought you here today?
It's good for us just to come and exhibit and show. We've got a lot of customers that are also here. We've got a lot of customers in the agricultural sector, so we do a lot of workwear, teamwear, young farmers things. So it's just good to be here, be present, meet people that we've maybe never met before, customers that we've maybe never met before. So yeah, it's just good to see everybody.
And a good range on display as well, as you have polo shirts and hooded tops. There's also a range of footwear and obviously specialist wear, safety. I can see some safety clothing there as well, high vis on show, so quite the variety.
Yeah, we can do everything, so from high vis clothing, like you say, high vis PPE, footwear, all the way through to teamwear, club clothing. Like I say, for young farmers, we've got some special young farmer stuff there, specially made for them. So yeah, we do it all. We also do school uniform, not here today on show, but whatever your needs are for branding with your logo printed on, embroidered on. That's what we do, specialise in. So. Yeah.
And a relatively new business. You haven't been up and running all that many years.
1989.
Oh, is it good? Goodness me, I had it as 1999, so I stand corrected.
Yeah, 1989. So my mum and dad started the company then. So it's now they're still heavily involved, but it's myself and my brother William that we run the company now. So yeah,
it's nice that it has been sort of passed on from parents to the next generation.
Yeah, definitely. It comes with its own challenges. We've got, so like I say, my dad's still heavily involved in things. He's there every day. So, but it's good that we're running the business now. He's there just to help us when we need it and a bit of guidance. He's got the experience, so it's good. Yeah.
And of course, in that time, you will have diversified just as the business and the industry demands.
Yeah, well, we started off as back in the day, it was just really embroidery. And then as the times went on, well, my dad found a niche in schoolwear, so it was big school uniform companies, what we were, that's mainly what we've done and we still do, but what we've bolted onto that is teamwear and workwear, so doubled the size of the company in the last 4 years just doing teamwear and work.
So here we come.
Baby Rexa. I love that track. Hugh, you don't, do you? Because you've got no taste.
I didn't love it. It's from
no,
Wicked.
it's no good now.
No, it's from Wicked, you
I
said.
told you, yeah.
I haven't seen the show.
So
I don't know. I haven't seen the film either. I do know Defying Gravity, and that's about the only one I know.
Oh, really? But that's a good track.
It's a good track.
Baby Rexa.
Is it good?
You said, what rubbish are you playing now?
Well, yes, I did, because I hadn't heard it before.
See, you've got to hear these things, and then eventually, the more you hear them...
Oh, it says the man who doesn't like any music after about the year 2000.
But don't forget, your favourite band are the Doolies.
Yeah, and who's yours? Mudge.
Chicory Tip.
Chicory Tip, Chicory Tip, yes.
Yes, but others are available, and I do like them as well. So that was Baby Rix. I love that track anyway. I hope you did as well. I'm sure you agree with me, not Hugh. Now, a little bit later on, of course, at the Royal Highland Show, The Reeling is taking place. It was called something else last year, but it's called The Reeling, who started off in Glasgow and everything else. Anyway, yesterday, I caught up with Miriam Plassard, who told me all about it. She's the organiser. With German roots, I understand.
Yes, absolutely. German and Welsh, a bit of both.
Oh, German and Welsh, and here you are in Scotland. My goodness.
Absolutely.
Very multicultural. So how did you get involved with The Reeling? Because that's the big event happening tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm the event manager for The Reeling. I'm based here full-time at the Royal Highland Centre. I'm part of the full-time events team. And so when the Royal Highland Show comes around, the team at the Royal Highland Centre, we like doing something fun, something exciting, something a little bit different to what is happening on the main showgrounds, and that's where The Reeling has come in this year to bring a bit of traditional music over to the Royal Highland Show and to the audience.
And what's interesting is that The Reeling has been going, you were telling me, about 4 years now.
So this will be its 4th year, yes.
And it's mainly in Glasgow. People will associate it with Glasgow, but you're now in Edinburgh, so the Glasgow people are saying, surely we're not going to lose our Glasgow to Edinburgh of all places.
No, absolutely. Yeah, this is the premiere for it in Edinburgh. There has been pop-up events around the city before, but it's the first launch of The Reeling in Edinburgh, so we're really lucky to have it at the Royal Highland Centre. But hopefully it will be a reoccurring tradition, and the Glasgow audience don't have to worry. I'm sure there'll be things coming up there in the near future, and we can just have it over both cities, which is really exciting.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
So presumably, with your connections with the Royal Highland Show and the event centre, etc., you've obviously had a lot to do with this.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. We've been planning it for months. You know, the Royal Highland Show itself takes a full 12 months of planning, and you know, we've been really lucky to be able to work alongside them, integrating The Reeling and everything that goes alongside planning that when it comes to booking the artists, getting the stage in, making sure that everything is up and running for Royal Highland Show attendees and those coming from further afield. Potentially the Reeling fans from Glasgow, will be welcoming them. So it's really great that we're able to bring it all together, and we've had a few months, so we're nearly there, final push.
And I was going to say, as I understand it, there's a lot of people who are going to be coming this evening.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We are almost sold out of tickets, so please please do get your tickets as soon as possible. You can either buy them online via the Royal Highland Show, or you can buy them on the door as well. But no, it's looking to be a really great lineup, great attendance, and hopefully the weather's looking like it's going to be going in our favour.
We'll keep our fingers crossed for that. Now, Dougie McLean, you've got, tell us some of the other acts as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got Dougie. He's, a living legend in Scotland. So really excited about that. And then we've got Skiffinish, who will be headlining for us. And they've been around, like you said, for about 25 years. So that's a really great one. They've got their new single coming out.
With the Fisherman's Friends.
Exactly that.
We'll be playing that a little bit later on, because we're hoping that Hugh, later in the programme, will get a few words with Dougie and a few others from the reeling as well. So hopefully you'll get to hear them in person as well very shortly.
Absolutely, and it's just a family-friendly event. It's so lovely. We've got the Wheeling, which is our kids-friendly area, that we're hoping will, keep the little ones entertained alongside the rest of the family.
So it's been going 4 years. You've been involved for 2 years now. How did you become involved with this?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said, at the Royal Highland Centre, we have events going all year round, with the Royal Highland Show being one of the main ones. So we used to have the hoolie over at the showgrounds at the Royal Highland Show, and that's why when we started looking for something exciting and new to bring in to the Highland Show this year, that's where we came across the reeling, and we've been working alongside them for a while now to get this all in shape and over to Edinburgh and with us.
Oh, it's certainly going to be very, very exciting. What's the future? What's your vision for the future of the reeling?
As the event manager, I can't speak fully to it. You'd have to speak to the promoter more about that, but I'd like to think that it could be something that can be brought across Scotland, and potentially further afield. We've got a really great base in Glasgow that we're hoping to bring further to Edinburgh as well, and we'll see where it takes us. The world's our oyster a little bit now.
So we could see a reeling on tour almost, couldn't we?
That would be fun.
Yeah, not just in Scotland. Of course, there's a lot of places who would absolutely love to host the reeling, but of course, going into England and Wales,
yeah,
Ireland,
absolutely. They love
Europe,
the traditional Scottish
America,
music.
the world.
Absolutely.
But the potential is great, because traditional Scottish music really is buzzing.
Absolutely, and there's just such a market there for it at the moment, and you just see them all popping up, especially with the Scottish World Cup. You can see the artists out there that are, bringing the music to a wider audience, and it's really coming across on social media and across all the news channels. So this is the time really to be promoting and to be getting it out there.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to it. It's all happening this evening, the reeling here at the Royal Highland Show in Ingliston in Edinburgh. And Miriam, you're passionate coming out of your ears. It's unbelievable. You obviously love what you do, and the best of luck in the future.
Thank you so much.
This is Summer Breeze with Stuart Cameron on TD9 Radio.
OK, let's go back outside then and rejoin our roving reporter, Simon Walton.
Well, thanks very much indeed. I'm on the stand of Claydon with a couple of my Claydon colleagues here. Gentlemen, can you just introduce yourselves first of all?
Hello, I'm Alan Stephen, the Scottish rep, Scottish Northern England and Northern Ireland rep.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Alan. And you're...
Yeah, I'm David Ferber. I'm a sales manager for Claydon. Claydon's Suffolk company, so just outside Newmarket actually. And they are a farming family, and they Jeff always had a passion for cost control, looking at costs and establishment costs. And 23 years ago, he came up with the Claydon drill that we're exhibiting here today.
Well, that's interesting. Tell me, I'll turn it back to Alan. Alan, can you explain a little bit about the technicalities of? I'm looking at what you call it a drill, David. There, it's a huge piece of machinery. It stands taller than me. Maybe you've got that up on its side. I don't know.
Yeah.
But talk me through what we're looking at here.
What you're seeing there is the straw harrow.
Okay.
The straw harrow it complements the drill, goes out in front of the drill, it rakes the field in front, and leaves a nice little bit of tilth underneath for our Claydon drill or any drill to fall in throughout. Other benefits is it's knocking out the weeds, and it's also knocking out slugs, any slugs' eggs that's in the ground. It'll knock them out as well to dry them out just before they'll start hatching and all the rest. So
for a townie like me, this is all very interesting, and it's a new world to me. David, I'll turn back to you, because what comes together here at the Royal Highland Show is a community from the 98% of the country that people like me rarely visit, and just seeing people from other parts of the country with different accents all coming together here in Edinburgh, it just opens my eyes to how much agriculture and farming means to the country.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it? I think a lot of farmers would like government to value food more and food production. But certainly it's great. It's a great show. I mean, I've been coming here for over 20 years myself as well and exhibiting. It's great to see so many people from the rural areas, and it's a good chance to meet up and discuss different opportunities, different systems, as we are to here today.
Alan, David has said that this is a family company, and you've been saying that you've been coming to the show for 20 years. Does that make Claydon newcomers to the agricultural industry?
Not newcomers. When you look back, I mean, Jeff's history, he used to make what we call the Claydon Yieldometer. And the Claydon Yieldometer went on every class combine that kind of came out the factory down in Suffolk. So he's just progressed from there. I mean, they're farmers, originally farmers working farm, and the reason he built the drill because he couldn't find another machine that was suitable for his ground, so he built his own machine. 22.
Well, before then, actually, I mean, I've only been with Claydon for 3.5 years, but I know Claydon have exhibited. We have moved stand location this year to a more central position, so hopefully we'll see more people as well.
I certainly hope so as well. Look, David and Alan, thank you so much indeed for your time. It's been a pleasure speaking with you both. Back to you in the studio.
That's the brand new version of Avenues and Alleyways by Tony Christie, the original singer, of course, from the theme tune, which was to the Protectors in the 1970s. You remember the Protectors, don't you?
I do. It was part of the ITC stable, which gave us things like Jason King, Randall and Hopkirk Deceased. What a wonderful series that was. I think that's being shown again just now. Is it on Talking Pictures or Rewind TV? One of those ones, one of the ones that shows those. But, it was great. And the Avengers as well, and the new Avengers.
He's off now. I
was saying to Stuart, actually, the thing about the Avengers was that obviously no budget, much like this show, actually.
Oh, yeah, very much like this show.
Because when every episode, if they went to a country house, it was always the same country house. They didn't even bother to paint the walls, or you could tell it was just so obvious.
Yeah, but people didn't care in those days, did they?
No, they didn't really. It became more obvious when it went from black and white to colour, obviously, because you could see the colour of the walls.
Yes, that's right. Now, what about you, Stuart? Is that before your time? I was going
to say, though, if the villain was always in the country house, then he or she and she perhaps would be in jail, so the house would be perhaps back on the market again.
I would have thought so.
So
yes.
it maybe attracted villains who occupied the property for short periods before they were then arrested and jailed.
Only one not so careful owner.
Yes. Quite possibly, but yes, I can recollect certainly reruns of both. Not obviously old enough to remember them going out originally,
yes.
But in more recent times.
Well, I do like that new remix recorded in Nashville. Hugh Brown has the opposite effect.
Yeah, it grows on me, but I have to say, because I like the original so much.
Oh, the original.
You want to play the original, do you?
What, you mean the original version?
Of Avenues and Alleyways.
Should we play it?
Yeah. Spot the edit there, yes. And I did.
It wasn't difficult, was it? Wasn't difficult.
But a fantastic theme tune. I mean, and Tony Christie, the sad thing, of course, as you well know, is he has dementia now, doesn't he?
And still going on stage, though. Still
on stage. He uses cue cards just like you.
And you think this is cue cards? That'd be very poor, wouldn't it, if it was? Stuart, you had something to say?
Yeah, well, in terms of the new Avengers, so we mentioned two of the characters, or indeed the actor and actress, Joanna Lumley, Patrick McNee. Can you tell me the Bond film that starred Joanna Lumley and the Bond film that also featured Patrick McNee?
Oh,
Goldfinger.
I think she was in Goldfinger, was she?
No.
Right, okay.
That's wrong then.
Diamonds Are Forever, and we'll go through them all now.
Oh, you're closer with Diamonds Are Forever in terms of the timeline.
Doctor No, then. It wasn't the first one. No.
On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
George because that had Diana Rigg. She was his girlfriend. That's the only time.
That's the next
time. The only time that Bond got married.
Yes.
And the marriage lasted all of about 30 seconds because he was shot by Was it
Blofeld.
no, it was Rosa Klebb.
Who was with Blofeld, and the actress who played Rosa Klebb, I think, died before it was shown in the cinemas.
Okay.
She died very soon after it was finished. And Patrick McNee, of course, featured alongside a good friend of his, Roger Moore, in Roger Moore's last film in 1985, A View to a Kill.
Oh, right. I
There we
didn't know
are.
that. I didn't know that he did A View to a Kill.
Yeah. So that was.
Aha! I did not know that.
Yeah.
And Aha, of course, did the theme too.
View
View to a Kill.
Yeah.
That's why I said Aha. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Get with it, Stuart.
Whenever he said Aha, I was looking just to see if Alan Partridge had walked in here, as the only man to break the code. And
No, you're thinking of Simon Walton. We're not letting him in yet because
No.
he's out and about. But of course, recently, written by Hugh
told
Brown
you he
here,
had cue cards, didn't I?
But you wrote this one, Hugh. You wrote this one. Recently, that's 3 years ago now, a lot of new Far East car companies have entered the UK market.
Glad you
Hugh
got
Brown spoke to Toby from KGM.
Toby, tell me about KGM. It's not a company I've heard of before.
So we're a South Korean brand. We were previously known as Sangyong. So we've been around for a long time, about 70 years. And we were brought out in Korea by the KG Group, who are a huge conglomerate over there. They're in steel, chemistry, that sort of thing. So we've got a fresh new lineup of vehicles coming over the next sort of year or two, and they started coming in now. Hybrid technology, fully electric, and we still do diesel as well for those who need the tow-in and the payload as well. So yeah, we've got an extensive range of vehicles.
What I notice about them is how big they are. Obviously designed for the larger market, for the agricultural farming market, amongst others, and for, I suppose, huge families too. Who's your typical customer?
Exactly that, really. It's those two groups. So we have a big sort of farming community that use them for obviously towing and carrying stuff in the back, livestock, you name it. Also in construction as well, very popular with the Musso with our pickup truck. And again with Rexon, so we've got a Rexon commercial, so it's only a two-seater. But we've got the passenger car as well, which is a 7-seater. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of space in there with those rear seats taken out that can be used for wherever is needed. And we've got the 7-seater as well, obviously for big families that need the room.
One of the I suppose the types of car you've got is a Rhino, and you've got a massive, huge, inflatable Rhino above one of the cars. Tell me about that one.
So, well, in Korea, Musso means Rhino, and we've got our new model coming out beginning of July, which is really exciting. A fresh look for Musso, really. So yeah, we've put the Rhino on top. It does kind of look quite rude, I would say. We've had a lot of people stop and take photos. And make silly comments, but yeah, it sort of brings the attention, I guess, when they come down the main street and they can see us from afar.
And let's talk price then. What do they start at? What do they go up to?
They start out. So we've got our Tivoli, which is our small SUV, our mini SUV, which starts about 23, and then we've got our pickups as well. We've got a show offer on, which is £3,000 off for Musso. Which is top spec is 37, but with that £3,000 off, obviously you're looking at 34. And on Rexon as well, we've got £2,000 off as well, so you get a good price for a really high spec SUV.
It's not too bad actually when you compare it with other models. It seems to be pretty reasonable.
Yeah, absolutely. So as well, we've got our electric Musso, so that comes in at $39,995, which makes it the cheapest electric pickup on the market in the UK, and that's including VAT. So we've got that option as well. But yeah, we've got good value cars that have all the spec you need, all the driving technology and all the safety tools that you'd expect to find on a much more expensive vehicle. So yeah, we've got good value.
Toby, thanks for speaking to me.
Yeah,
thanks very much.
No worries. Thank you.
There we are. Well, it's time we went outside again to talk to Simon Walton in the sunshine. He's got a very famous drummer with him.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm with a very, very famous former colleague of mine, Dougie Vipond, presenter of Landward, among many other things to your extensive portfolio. Dougie, you're here at the Royal Highland Show. I don't need to ask why you're here, but I'm going to ask anyway. Why are you here?
Well, we're here at the Highland Show with Landward, and a very special occasion this year because Landward is 50 years old, and it's the 50th year at the Highland Show as well. So double celebration for us in the team.
And of course, you've not been there since you were a manor boy.
No, I've been coming here for 16 years. So, but it's funny because most of the team are based in BBC in Aberdeen. they've been on the programme longer than I have. So only 16 years. So I'm just dipping my toe in the water, really.
Do you know, when we were in the green room just a few minutes ago there, we were reminiscing, and I was thinking, Brian, it was actually last century when we worked together.
It's true. I mean, it's astonishing. Yeah, when we get to a certain point in your life where you kind of think, heavens above, you've been through a couple of millennia, you've been through lots of decades. It's concerning, but no, we're still here. We're still doing it. We're still working, and it's a real joy to be here at the Highland Show. It's always a really kind of a real showcase of everything that's good within rural Scotland, and it's a lovely thing to be part of.
There are, 20,000-30,000 people here today. I'm going to guess that you know at least half of them.
Not quite, but it is amazing that I do everyone says hello, and that's the great thing about the Highland Show. People come here every year, and they might not see anyone for a whole year, but when you see them, it's almost as if you just carry on the conversation from last year as if it was last week, and that's a lovely thing. And I mean, on Lambert, we've been around meeting lots and lots of people around the country over the years, and you do remember their faces and things, so it's lovely to catch up with folk.
Of course, Lambert covers the rural agricultural scene in Scotland in its broadest sense. But the Royal Highland Show here, it's even more than that, because it's something for everyone here, isn't it?
No, absolutely is. I mean, if you're into machines, there's a massive section. If you're into big tractors and all that kind of stuff, and monster trucks, there's all that sort of stuff going on. They've got stuff for the kids. There's a wildlife section. There's a woodland section. There's wee tiny, there's the chickens, and there's also stuff got show jumping. It's an amazing thing. You can climb up the poles as well if you're off your heat.
Well, listen, as you said, it's the 50th anniversary of both Landward and the Royal Highland Show. I don't think either of us are going to be here to see the centenary of those.
Come on, let's focus forward. We'll get some little drugs will be kind of implemented, or I'm going to freeze myself cryogenically.
Dougie, thanks so much indeed for your time. Really appreciate that.
Haven't heard that in ages. Donna Lewis, whatever happened to her, Hugh?
I don't know, but for once I agree with you. That is a tremendous song.
Yes, about time you agreed with me.
It happens once a century, and once a millennium.
And before that, Deacon Blue.
Oh, and
the
Dignity.
drummer of who was Dougie Vipond.
Dougie Vipond, yes. Why is it that Simon Walton gets to speak to all the stars, and all I get is Will Hung?
He's mates with them.
He's mates because they used to work together, didn't they?
Yes. Now, talking of interviews, of course, did you know? Well, you probably do. John Deere celebrates its 190th anniversary next year. Yeah. Now, they're one of a number of tractor dealerships on site, and they're so popular that both you and Stuart actually interviewed different reps. And you didn't realise this at the time.
No.
So what we've done, which one are we going to play? So we did a little bit of random generating, and the winner is Stuart McFadyen.
Well, Ross Skimming, thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us. We're at a very impressive John Deere, I was going to say stand, but it's a stand and a presentation of a lot of farm machinery.
Yes, so welcome aboard the stand, the John Deere stand. Yeah, this is, we are here and we are showcasing a various range of equipment. Everything from our brand new forage harvester, the F9 700. This machine we launched this year, so it's just gone out to customers 2 months ago, been very successful, and kind of kicks on from our old 9000 series. So we've got one of them on the stand today. Then we've got our brand new sprayer, so our 500 series. This is actually the first public showing of this 500 series sprayer. It's a brand new design. It's something that we feel like that's where the market is going towards, and it's getting a huge amount of focus today. Then we've got our full range of tractors. All the way from our smallest 5M all the way to the largest 7R, 8R. We've got anything, any size, any horsepower. We can cater for it. As the advert says, we do tractors and we do it very well.
I was going to say it's certainly one of the busiest stands in terms of just the variety, the range of people. We've got young and old. We've got, I think, fair to say that it'd be farmers that are very seriously interested in buying, but there's also some rather curious youngsters that are getting a chance in a very safe environment to get a very up-close look at some of these farm machinery.
Exactly, and we take the opportunity to open it up to them because we feel like it's the next generation. This could just spark something. They come on the John Deere stand. We want them to be inspired. We want them to take something back home, maybe to their mums and dads, and just say that, look, that John Deere product, the John Deere stand, I saw something I liked, and it maybe kicks them into maybe it's part of the career or other opportunities going forward. We've seen a lot of that today. A lot of youngsters interested in how they can work for us, how they can work for our dealers. It's the opportunities are amazing with regards to that.
And your role here over the years will have evolved just by the nature of the show evolving as well.
Yeah, exactly. So this is very much for us a relationship show. What we see as well, we meet our customers. A lot of our customers come to meet the manufacturer, to speak to them. This is kind of only happens once or twice a year, so it allows us to really get close to our customers, understand how everyone's getting on, get feedback, good, bad, it's always good then to chat to them, and then we can like I say, we enjoy doing it and give a bit back, take them into the tent. They can have teas, coffees. We try to be hospitable. It's an all-round friendly atmosphere is what we try to create in this stand.
Well, thank you very much for your time this morning. We'll let you get back to it. It's great to see you so busy.
Yes, I say this. Yeah, it's great to see the weather as well. When the sun is out, it's a great place to be. And everyone's enjoying it, as you can see.
It certainly is a sunny day here at the Royal Highland Show, and thanks to Stuart McFarlane for that lovely interview there. Hugh Brown's, of course, didn't make it, unfortunately. What did he say to you, though, this other rep?
Well, Jack was my rep's name, and he was a really nice guy, and
I'm sure he was.
He offered me coffee and biscuits as well, which was really nice. But the fascinating fact about John Deere is that John Deere invented the plough. You didn't know that, did you? John Deere
Tumbleweed goes across the studio floor.
It could get worse when I say this. And the theatrical production that John Deere could sponsor? Plough related?
Plough related. No, you've got me.
Speed the Plough?
No, still not.
Tuppence a bag.
Either of you come across that? Speed the Plough?
No. That's gone over our heads.
Yes,
the tumbleweed
clearly
is coming
has,
here
although
as well.
nothing really to do with agriculture, so a slightly misleading name.
Yeah, so Hugh, are you okay after that decision?
I feel that, I really now will just have to
throw toys.
It's a travesty.
I'll have to throw my toys out the pram, I think.
Not for the first time.
My Highland cows out the pram.
There we are. Let's have some more music, shall we? Just to sympathise with you.
When are you gonna come down?
Well, one of the best things he ever did, Elton John and Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. You're listening to TD9 Radio on a Saturday afternoon. It's me, Stuart Cameron, and Hugh Brown, and Stuart McFarlane, and Simon Walton as well, who's out and about. And let's find out where he is now.
Thank you very much. I'm with Jordan Zaccarelli. Jordan, you have a quite unique job here at the Royal Highland Show. Jordan, can you just describe the scene to us here?
Yeah, so we operate the trophy room within the Highland Show. So the Highland Show has a collection of around 340 trophies, which are awarded across each section within the show and are obviously competed for.
We are surrounded by silver, by gold, by ornate trophies, cups, jugs for every one of the awards that are made at the show here, which I guess is the real reason for the Royal Highland Show.
It is, and I think everybody often forgets that the point of the show is to compete and to show their skill in each section. But yeah, I mean, like some of the trophies, I know you said is glittering, but the collection it dates back to one of the oldest trophies that we've got is 1862, I think, which is a Fletcher.
Can you show us that one?
Yeah, so it's a Fletcher McDermott trophy. It's just over here. So yeah, it was donated by the McDermott family. It's a it's a beef and cattle trophy. It's for best in their class, and that's awarded today. Actually, it goes out into the main ring. So that's like the showpiece for the show. And then we've also got, which is my favourite cup, is the Queen's Cup. So that was donated by the late Queen in 1960. It was donated, actually. Sorry.
These trophies, they look like they're predominantly silver, but the engraving work and the craftsmanship on them makes them look as though they're flowing through from the top to bottom. It looks like a fluid representation of the most exquisite work, and I suppose that is a representation of the sort of standard that it takes to win one of these trophies.
Yes, and I mean, just a quick background on the specific work that we do is the engraving, which is probably the most important part. these trophies obviously date back over 100 years, so they are in essence a record of everybody that's competed here. We often get people that come into the room who have had generations worth of family members who've competed across the show, and they pick the trophy up and it's either grandfather's name, great grandfather's name, or grandmother's name, or company, and it's I think it's a connection.
Yeah, I was going to ask that there must be many of these trophies that have family connections, just like you've described there.
And I mean, even for me, so my grandfather, who he passed away 2 years ago, he was a hand engraver for the Highland Show for at least 20 years. I say this every year, so it's a bit of a soundbite, but I can pick up a trophy and I can spot his engraving as well. So whilst it isn't per se related to my family or mine, or the time it takes to compete within the show, it's personal to me too.
So you as a professional, you can see the script of an individual engraver?
We can. So hand engraving is one of these specialist skills that every artist does across many disciplines. They have their own marks and their own styles, and I can see my grandfather's style, or even Dario, who's our hand engraver, who's been doing engraving for I think 3 years now for the Highland Show. He's got his own style too, so you can spot Dario's engraving. It's quite a unique skill.
How many trophies did you say are here?
So it's over 320.
Does that mean you're going to be extremely busy over the course of the show?
So it takes around 30 days to engrave most of the trophies. There's a few machine engraving trophies in here too, which we get taken back to our workshop, and they get put through the machines that we've got. And I mean, it's a joy.
Jordan, it's been an absolute privilege and an absolute, as you say, a joy to see all these trophies in one place, in one of the most closely guarded parts of the entire Royal Highland Showgrounds. And thank you very much indeed for allowing this.
24-hour security as well.
So you heard it here first, 24-hour security. Don't try to come in without an invitation.
TD9 Radio on a Saturday afternoon, coming to you live from the Royal Highland Show here in Ingliston in Edinburgh. And of course, one of the big sponsors is Graham's, and Carol Graham, the marketing director of Graham's, is with me now. And your presence as a company here, I mean, every year I've been, and it's been quite a few years, we always see Graham's, we see them in the food hall and elsewhere as well. So obviously Royal Highland Show, very important to the company.
The Royal Highland Show is really important to the company and the family. My dad's been coming here showing since he was a boy, age 9, and we started exhibiting our products and our brand in the food hall in 2006, and a few years ago we progressed to a much bigger stand right by the main ring. And it's really important for us because obviously it's about farming, the dairy business, showing our family business, and we have a lot of our farmers who come here too. So it's really important for us as a family business to have that presence and to show what we're doing within the dairy industry.
So within the stand, if people come to the Graham stand, what do they get to see?
So this year we've changed the stand a little bit. So now what they're seeing is a timeline from 1939, from when my grandma and grandpa Graham started at Airthrough Kerris and Bridge of Allen to the present day, and showing how the company has grown and innovated and developed over the decades. So really bringing out our heritage, our provenance, and our family business, as well as showcasing the full range of our products, from our traditional products in terms of milks, butters and creams, to all the new products that we're doing in the health space, like our Protein 25, Protein 22, our kefir products, Greek yogurts, and the super popular cottage cheese.
Yes. Now, you mentioned there the yogurts in the pouches,
yes,
which I've come across for the very first time this year. They're brilliant.
They're very popular. They're really good, a snack to go, 25 grams of protein. You know, it's perfect for a healthy snack or after exercise or before exercise.
Yeah, they are lovely. I have to say, I must admit, you didn't pay me or anything. That was right off the bat. I really, really like them. So well done that. And I suppose you have to be innovative as well, haven't you? There's a lot of competition about, and as you say, you've been going since 1939, and you're still going now. So you're doing something right, and you're putting the right message out there and producing the products that people want.
Well, it's really important for us to to produce really great tasting Scottish products, and we're always looking at how to develop what's new in the market, what can we bring onto the market kind of quickly. And that's the one thing as a family business that we can do. You know, we can decide, right, that actually we should bring out a protein product or a kefir product and do that quite quickly to get onto the market. But it is very important. The quality of product is very important for us. You've got some great taste awards for our ranging, and to really tell people that we are a family business, because some people don't actually realise that. But you know, my grandfather started it, my dad's still involved, and I have a niece and nephew as well who are actually working on the stand today. So it's very important for us to bring all those elements to our stand.
Was it inevitable that you were going to go into your family business?
No, I'd say not. I mean, I've always worked in the business. So Robert, my brother, and I, we always worked in the family business. Whether that was on the farm, my parents had shops when they were building up the milk supply back in the early days. We had some of our own supermarkets which were to build up the milk supply. So worked in the shops, worked on the farms in different roles. But my interest at that time was sport. So I studied PE Sports Science at Loughborough, who we are now working with for our protein products. And I worked in a different industry before coming into the business.
So we're nearly 90 years old now, the family business. It sounds like from what you're saying that there's plenty of people in the next generation coming through who will be flying the flag right through to the 100th year.
Well, hopefully. I mean, we know you never know, but what we'd like to do is, it's a generational business, and there is family coming on, and we would like the business to be in a position where, if anybody is interested in taking it forward, then that opportunity is there for them.
Well, we certainly wish you the best. It's lovely to talk to you.
Thank you
and
very
hear
much.
about the heritage of Graham's. And, well, I think you'll be a permanent fixture in future Royal Highland shows. But if people are coming to the show, you've got to pop into the Graham stand.
That would be great. Thank you.
That's good to hear that one again, isn't it? A band called Highly Likely, which probably had Tony Burrows in there somewhere, I would imagine. One of these manufactured bands, a theme to whatever happened to the Likely Lads. Well, whatever did happen to the Likely Lads. They're here now. Hugh Brown and Stuart McFadyen.
What a comparison.
James Bolam.
Yes,
And
Terry Collier.
Terry Collier. No, that was the character. Was that the character?
That was
name?
James Boland's character.
And it was, what's
the other
Rodney
guy's?
Bewes.
Rodney Bewes. That's right. Sadly,
He was
no
Bob.
longer with us. Yeah, that's right. It was great, wasn't it? I mean, black and white, obviously, and then it came back with colour again. And I think the two fell out, didn't they? And they never got back together again, which is
I think I don't think James Boland was as keen on repeat episodes. It may be wrong. They may be doing him a colossal disservice in saying that. But I think Rodney Bewes, he went on and actually featured in a lot of stage performances, including one at Selkirk, and he's been at the Edinburgh Festival.
Yeah.
Or he was at the Edinburgh Festival, but passed away now, Rodney Bewes.
Yeah, and James Bolam's, I see there's a trailer for a film that he's just made now, which should be quite interesting as well. So he's still doing the boards.
Who was Rodney Bewes married to in the programme? The actress
Oh,
who born in Edinburgh?
Gosh.
Can you remember her name?
Oh.
Bridget Forsyth.
Bridget Forsyth, yes, that's right. And of course, famously, the famous episode, very topically now, was the football one, wasn't it? Where they tried all day to not know what the score was until it was repeated on the television, and the game was off.
And England, was it England, Poland? Was
Yes,
it international?
yes, England, Poland. Talking of the World Cup then, since we've got Stuart McFarlane here, the #1 BBC commentator for rugby.
Commentator.
Yeah, but the one that does the big games, the 38 old draw on Radio 5 Live and all that kind of stuff. Big football fan, of course, and hello to Mickey Yanotto, who's listening to us at the moment in the Newcastle area. He's a big Toon fan. He's also a West Ham fan, so he's still wearing that armband at the moment after West Ham being relegated, Spurs staying up. But it does mean that West Ham do play Norwich City, which is, of course, my team, in the Championship next year. And West Ham are actually taking on Rangers at Ibrox in July, he tells me. So that should be interesting, shouldn't it?
Yeah, indeed. I'm just thinking of that's a Martin Peters derby, West Ham, Norwich City.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Martin Peters,
Yeah, he knows all the stuff. Does our Stuart here. Hugh, of course, doesn't know much about sport at all, do you?
No, I only presented the sports show for 30 odd years. And
I
Newcastle,
know you bluffed through it.
I did. Newcastle, yes, I've lived my life through bluffing. And Newcastle United play Everton at Murrayfield, of all places, on the 12th of August. That should be an interesting one. I suppose I was asking both Stuarts, why would they choose Murrayfield? I suppose it's just to let the Scottish fans see both Newcastle and Everton.
And Hearts famously played a German side during the Edinburgh Festival in 1985. Well, in fact, I shouldn't say Hearts, it was played at Hearts Ground. It was an Edinburgh City Select side, incorporating Hearts, Hibernian and Miniwank Thistle players. And it was Bayern Munich. And Henry Smith saved a penalty in the game, and that was a midweek game during it was a rare occasion where they had the Edinburgh Festivals Cup before it was laid to rest for several years and then came back as an Edinburgh derby.
Well, one thing we have to mention, of course, because we haven't mentioned it yet, is Scotland in the World Cup last night. And fortunately, I've only just got into bed ready to turn it on, and there were the 1-0, 71 seconds, and then no more score after that. And people are like, oh dear, we're not going to qualify now. But actually, now that there's 48 teams in it, and I think I'm right in saying 8 of the third place teams will actually go into the next round. 4 are going to miss out. So we've already got 3 points. Our goal difference is on 0 at the moment, so if we lost 1-0 to Brazil, we'd still have a great chance of going through. And people are saying, oh, but we haven't qualified before, isn't this wonderful? This is about as easy as it gets, isn't it?
It's an awful lot easier. When you think back to times in 1982, for instance, where Scotland beat New Zealand 5-2 in the opening game, drew the last match 2-2 with the Soviet Union as they were then, of course, had that famous collision with Alan Hansen and Willie Miller, and Ramon Shingelia running through a 1-on-1 with Alan Ruff, slipped it past him, the Dino Bertablici player, and suddenly all hope was lost until Graham Souness scored his first Scotland goal with 4 minutes to go, and then it made it 2-2, and could they qualify? Could they get a winner in that game and go through? So Scotland have played in groups where, they went to the 74 World Cup as one of 16 teams, coming back unbeaten, failed to qualify. Does that rank as a better achievement, albeit the world is an ever-changing place and there's far more countries now in Europe than there was back in the 1970s? It is an interesting argument that actually during tournament time within the pool of 4 teams in Scotland playing 3 sides, that they have come away with a win, a draw and a defeat, and they haven't qualified. So if they were to lose to Brazil with 1 victory, it wouldn't be their best performance in the group stage, but it would more than likely, as you mentioned, the goal difference, be enough to see them through on this occasion.
Yeah,
and I think what you were saying, Stuart, we have to remember that Morocco are a really, really good team.
They're number 6 in the world. We're 37.
Yeah, and they got to the semi-finals of the World Cup as well, didn't they? So,
4 years ago they did.
Yeah, so there we are.
And Brazil, I don't think have hit their straps yet. There's some way off doing that, I think.
They'll hit their straps against Scotland.
Yeah, well,
that's what usually happens.
They certainly did in 82.
Yes, 4-1, wasn't it?
4-1, the David Neary goal, and then the ceiling collapsed in on Scotland.
He wasn't used to scoring goals, was he? He didn't know how to celebrate or anything, did he?
He went, interestingly enough, he scored, I think, against Morton in the 84-85 season. He went 10 years before he scored his next goal in a full club match, and he by that time was playing First Division football for Raith Rovers.
Yeah, I'd have dropped him myself.
But he was a very good centre defender. I do have a bias towards David Neary.
Yes. He was 70 this week, I believe.
12th
I
of
read.
June. Yeah, 70 years old, and he
How
was.
on earth do you know that off the top of your head?
Yeah, 70 years, 35 Scotland caps, 1 goal.
There we are. Fantastic research there. He's an encyclopedia. Anyway, back to the Royal Highland Show. It's just gone 4 o'clock, so we've got, we're halfway through the programme. We're on the air till 6 o'clock this evening, and the Home and Gift Hall includes 57 stands providing visitors with a vast array of arts and crafts and knitwear. And Stuart met up with one business owner from Langham.
Can you give me a little bit more of a background to the stand and the project? Because I spoke to you yesterday, it really is a fascinating project.
Yeah, absolutely. So my background's in textiles and fashion, went to uni and did fashion, loved that. And then my first big girl job was in Langham, so that's why I landed there. And we just sort of we saw like the fashion industry and how damaging it was to the planet, and didn't really like that. So me and my wife started a small dressmaking business, Rose's Wardrobe, and our first studio space was actually inside Drove Weavers, which is the last mill in Langham. So we saw all the incredible fabrics being woven by the amazing expertise of the staff, but also the ageing workforce behind it. No young people coming in and seeing the industry as a career option. So Creation Mill was born quite rapidly, and it was just to try and get young people to look at the industry again and see it as a viable career path for them. So going into schools, after school clubs, summer clubs, things like that, getting them to do it for enjoyment as well. Just like handicrafts and making things is always good for your mental health. And then it sort of grew from there. We looked at as we started talking to local farmers, that sort of progressed the wool side of things, and wool going to waste. So we wanted to come up with a solution for that. And then when Drove Weavers was going to shut at the end of last year, we had a conversation with the owner, because as it was everything that Creation Mill stood for was like building up the textile industry, it would hurt our hearts to see it shut down. So we came to an agreement with the owner, and we took over in February. So yeah, we're keeping the last weaving mill in Langham going as well. So yeah, it's all just sort of slotted into place, and it feels like we've been running downhill trying to keep up with ourselves, but it's brilliant and such a passion of mine.
It must be tremendously well received by the community of Langham and further afield because of the unique elements that you touched on.
Yeah, absolutely. So we did have a bit of work to do, because Langham had its 15 working textile mills, so everybody had a family member that worked in the mill and then was also subsequently made redundant from that job. So they saw it as a decline in industry, tried to discourage young people from going into the industry. So we had to do a lot of work saying, well, yes, the industry is different, but it doesn't mean that it's not a good industry to get young people into. So we've done some really hard work, like going into the schools and stuff like that. But it's really paying off now. A lot more younger people are really interested in the industry, and we've got a lot of work experiences coming from local schools, trying to get involved in the industry as well. So that's really been a big achievement, is to get that message across to the local community, and like for enjoyment sessions and mental health and well-being, especially after COVID and social isolation. It just really made a difference for people to gather together and just bond over something that they really enjoyed, which was making things.
And the curriculum is markedly changing, because there's so many more opportunities now for school children to get involved in historical crafts, heritage, artisan crafts, like yourselves, like, for example, the Crook Making Association I've been speaking to as well. So you get them at a younger age, and it's a really good head start. If they then want to maybe branch off and go into further or higher education, they've got such a good sort of basic knowledge at a young age, as well as the skills of using their hands to create something. There must be a tremendous advantage over others.
Yeah, absolutely. And these are key life skills, like sewing on a button, making a repair. We need to be more sustainable in our world of mass production. So even these life skills are really important. But yeah, sewing and working with your hands leads into so many different jobs, like surgeons and doing surgery. You have to have a really good flexibility in your fingers and being able to sew up. Like, it's a different material, obviously it's people, but it's the same practice. You have to still have the same skills and mechanical and like using problem solving. So it's all these different aspects that people don't think of when you think of sewing and craft, but it actually does expand into a lot of different areas of life.
And it's a new generation and the next generation, because you touched on the number of mills that were in Langham alone. When you think of Dumfries and Galloway up to the Scottish borders, up to A7, Hawick, Selkirk, Gala, Innerleith, and even the blanket factory that was over in Berwickshire and Duns. You know, mills were synonymous with the south of Scotland, southwest and southeast of Scotland. So great to see a revival.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there is definitely a turn towards that made in Britain, made in Scotland specifically, because everything is so mass-produced and loses its story behind it. People are wanting to know the people that have worked on their product and the story of the mill and how like we have the community getting involved. So it's building that picture back up again and saying like made in Scotland, made in the UK is quality, like good quality products that last.
Well, we wish you all the best and thank you again for your time and taking the time just to explain in some more detail about the backstory to it all.
Thank you very much.
I found that really interesting. That was Emma from Creation Mill CIC in Langham, talking to Stuart McFarlane. And now, I don't know if you've heard this before, but it's rather good. It's the police, along with Snow Patrol. We call it the Police Patrol. Yes, I couldn't make my mind up whether to play Snow Patrol or Police, so that was a good compromise. Okay, it's TD9 Radio on a Saturday afternoon, and we're here at the Royal Highland Show, and this time last year I spoke to Katie McFadyen, the competition executive here at the Royal Highland Show. She's back again. You just can't keep away, can you?
No, I know, exactly.
Now, what have you been doing since last year? Because people sort of think, oh, you just turn up in June and then you go away again. It's not quite like that, is it?
No, I know, it's very interesting. People sometimes don't believe when you tell them you work 365 days a year for the Royal Highland Show. So we obviously finished up from the 2025 show and we wrap up from that for a couple of months after that, and then we get straight back into the swing of organising the 2026 show, seeing what we can change, seeing what we can make better, and getting some exciting new additions added for this year.
What feedback did you get from last year? Because you say, you listen to all the feedback, the positives, the negatives, etc. Tell us a few of the negatives. We always focus on the positives, which we will do in a minute, but what did people not like from last year?
So I think some main things I can think of, and we've actually made changes this year, is the days of some of the competitions didn't suit the exhibitors. So the shearing competition used to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, with the final being on Sunday afternoon, and that didn't suit the exhibitors, and we didn't think it drew the crowd that we hoped it would. So we've changed that to Thursday, Friday, Saturday now, with the final being on Saturday afternoon to hopefully pull in a bit of a crowd. And on the Sunday now, so we've still got something in there, we've got some exciting demonstrations there as well, so it's a bit of an educational time in the shearing theatre. And other changes, we've kind of made the dairy cattle exhibitors, we're looking to make some changes to their section. There was a few things that just weren't working for them, so we've done some changes, and their competitions are also now all on a Friday rather than having some on a Sunday. And again, for a bit of education, we've got some dairy cattle demonstrations on Sunday as well. So the changes really are from the industry itself, not really from the public. Yep, 100%. So, in the competitions department especially, we're always looking at exhibitor experience. So kind of we're getting exhibitors in, they're competing. Obviously this is the highlight of their year, so we're wanting to make it the best experience we can. So we take the feedback from them and then try and improve it year on year. We were talking earlier about the fact that you take these things like sheep shearing and the farrier work that's done and turning them into competitions, and we were just kind of thinking, I sort of came up with the idea, why not have like a farming Olympics? That'd be good, wouldn't it? Yeah, 100%. I think especially we've got 14 sections that the Livestock and Competitions Department run and pulled together. So it's really a large array of things that we have, but for every section, it's probably the highlight of their year. So it's one of the most important competitions probably throughout the calendar year for all of these people coming to exhibit. That would work, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think that'd be great. Yeah. What are you going to do about it as competitions executive? I definitely think I'll have to take it away and have a look at it. Sky Sports. Yeah. So that's something obviously which could happen again. Well, we're next door to the trophy room, and my goodness, there's some money tied up in there. 100%. 24-hour security and all the rest of it, and they are absolutely fabulous. How do people, take cheeses and honeys and decide what the best one is? Because surely it's a kind of personal taste, isn't it? 100%. How does it work? So I know for dairy they judge on a couple of things. So it obviously tastes a very important one. We have ice cream, so in my head that's very important. But it also comes down to texture, smell, and things like that. So there's different ways, and the different products are tasted differently. So it comes down to things like that. What's excited you this year so far? I think, do you know what, it's the same every year, to be honest. What I really enjoy is exhibitors coming on site, seeing them have a successful time, seeing them have a good time, just enjoying the experience. It's kind of the one thing in the agricultural calendar year where farmers get together, have a bit of a social, and it's nice to see everyone having a good time. That's what we're all working towards.
And we must mention horses, because that's your bag, isn't it?
Exactly.
What's been going on there? Have you been on the horse lately?
A wee bit. I struggle because I'm working a lot at this time of year, but over the winter and kind of for the rest of the summer I'll be busy. But yeah, equine entries this year have been absolutely amazing again. They're kind of on par with last year with massive entry numbers, so it's really positive to see all the sections getting really good entries.
Well, it's always good to talk to you, and no doubt we'll talk to you again in another year and hear all about the Farm Olympics that you'll have sorted
Yeah,
out as well.
exactly.
Nice to talk to you.
Thank you very much.
That's the lovely Katie McFadyen, who's been here for a long, long time and does some great work here at the Royal Highland Show. Well, let's go back outside again, rejoin our roving reporter. Where are you now? Simon.
Thank you very much. Tell me, who am I with right now?
Lewis Ralston.
Lewis, where are you from, Lewis?
Jedburgh in the Scottish borders.
Well, it's a lovely part of the country, and dare say at this time of the year, so is Ingliston for the Royal Highland Show. And talking of lovely things, who is this that we have with us?
Ballykeel Unique, a Slayer Heffer.
Now, she has got more rosettes on her than I've seen in Interflora. Tell me, she's obviously a very successful girl. What's she won for you?
She was first in her class, and then overall female champion and overall champion for the Slayers.
Well, I'm not sure who to congratulate most, but I'll congratulate you both. Well done. What does coming to a show like this mean for you?
Oh, it's just a shop window, basically. If you do well, you sell like bulls off the back of it, and you sell more.
Yeah, now, spoken like a true farmer there, because this is a business for you, isn't it?
Yeah, no, we come here just about every year. We used to go to the Yorkshire show as well, but obviously we can't this year because of the blue tongue.
There's a lot more to this than the casual visitor like me appreciates, and there are many more things which you have to take into consideration before you bring your livestock to the show like this.
They take a lot of washing and getting ready. Like we've been started doing stuff for this heifer at Christmas time there, and right through like washing her to keep the hair right on her and feeding her to get her in the fettle for showing, and it takes a lot of preparation.
So it's taken you the best part of 7 months to prepare her?
No, we bought her the back end of last year, and then we just kept her going basically.
Now, she's being a very polite lady, I have to say, and I'm so sorry for ignoring you, but paint a picture for those of us on the radio who can't quite see what I'm seeing.
No, she's just a smart, stylish 2-year-old heifer. Plenty of growth about it, and I know she's just correct.
And look, I think we all know, that you've got a long career ahead of you, my dear. Tell me, where will you be going next?
Back home and out to grass, and then see what happens. She'll probably be out again next year.
So you're holding on to her, you won't be going into the auction ring?
Nah, probably not with this one now. Probably not. Keep her and breed off her.
Okay, and would that be where you would make your money from her?
Well, we'll keep all the heifers, but if it's a bull calf, then it'll go on and be sold as a stock bull.
It may be a business to you, but it's an exciting day out for all of us. Thanks so much indeed. Thanks so much, and back to you.
Simon Walton among the cows and the bulls there. Now, Hugh Brown, he's nipped out for the moment. I think he's trying to get an interview with one of Skipinish, who are appearing live tonight at the Reeling, which is something which is going to be happening very, very shortly, and they're topping the bill tonight. But of course, he's used to putting his feet in it, as we know, on various radio programmes. But in this next piece, quite literally.
I'm with Mark from Oasis now, which is a company that sells machines that help with improving circulation of the feet, alleviating pain, arthritis, all those things. Tell me a wee bit more about the company, Mark.
So Oasis, what we do is we promote good health through our feet. Right, so it's a foot massager, but the nice thing about it is you don't put it away. It's also a piece of furniture, right? So when you open it up, so if we can use the word poofy, when you open it up, you put your feet in it, switch it on, and the first thing you'll get is a vibration plate, so you'll felt that already, right? So then what kicks in is a shiatsu massager, and what shiatsu is deep tissue massage. So there's rollers in here, so the rollers will be pinching your heels. You'll get it under the sole of your feet. And what the shiatsu massage does, if anyone suffers from plantar fasciitis, it stretches the muscles, gets rid of the tension in the muscles. Great time to do it is first thing in the morning. But everything is designed for good circulation. So this doesn't just help your feet, it helps your heart, it helps your whole body. Now what you also have got there was a compression. So this is airbags that are pushing in to help get rid of any build up fluid in your lower limbs, so edema. Also it helps push your deoxygenated blood back up to your heart, where it gets reoxygenated, passes around the body with all the nutrients, everything to make you feel healthier, right?
It's interesting, Mark, because I have swollen ankles just now, and I'm taking medication for that. And I've got my feet in one of the machines just now, and I can feel it, the massage happening. It's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, one of the great things about it, as I say, a lot of foot massagers or a lot of massagers, they can look very medical. You end up putting them away once you've used it. But with this one, because it's also a piece of furniture, it's just there in the room. Now it runs on a lithium battery, or you can run it on the mains. So it's literally portable. So we had ours out in the back garden on Monday when the weather was good, and one of my neighbours, Mark, he's got a terrible knee at the moment. He's waiting for a knee replacement, so he had it, and he just felt it was really invigorating for his knee, even though it was his feet that were getting massaged.
And how often would you use it, and how long for?
Right, there is a programme, and the programme lasts for 10 minutes, and then it will switch itself off. This is kind of so you can't overdo it, because one of the things about a good massage is it will encourage the release of things like serotonin, dopamine, what we call feel-good hormones, but reduce all your stress hormones. So you might end up falling asleep, and you don't want to overdo it. So it's a 10-minute programme, switches it off. If you want another 10 minutes, just switch it on again.
What about cost then, Mark? Because people will be interested in how much one of these machines costs.
Right, so we have these on the Oasis website for $359. At the Royal Highland Show, we have a show special, so we're doing them at $299, and we do free delivery anywhere in the United Kingdom. So we send it out to you.
I can tell you it's making a huge difference to my feet. I can feel it compressing. I can feel the massage happening. It's absolutely wonderful.
It is fantastic, and we've had a great response at the show. A great response.
Haven't heard that in a while as well. 1972 version, which was a big hit for Harley Quinn, and a song called New Orleans. It's 4:26 on a Saturday afternoon here at the Royal Highland Show. It's me, Stuart Cameron, Simon Walton out and about, Stuart McFarlane and Hugh Brown as well. And the Motor Zone has stands from many main car companies, including Renault. Now, Hugh began by reliving his boy racer youth.
Helen, we're standing in front of the new Renault 5, and I have to say it really takes me back, because in my youth, my very young youth, I had a Renault 5 GT Turbo, so this takes me right back. But this is the new version.
It is, yes, and we're getting so much attention because it's so close to the original, and people are loving it for nostalgia and the style. The price is fantastic. And
you'd have to say that, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, I would really. Yeah, but it's just a fantastic car, and everybody should come on over to the Renault stand. We are in the Motor Zone, so yeah, definitely it's worth a look for the Renault 5 and the rest of the range as well.
Is this a fully electric car then?
It is, yes, and it does 250 range, which is fantastic, especially for its class.
People are very worried about electric cars in that, they need to charge them, and the infrastructure in Scotland and the UK doesn't seem to be there yet for people to do longer distance journeys. You're saying 250 miles, that's a long trip, but do you find that people are worried about electric cars?
I think people are definitely getting used to it now, and the fact that you can just charge it overnight at home and you've got 250 miles there, people are feeling much more confident now. We do have others in the range like the Scenic Electric, which is actually up to 371 range, so we have got some high range cars here as well.
I had a Renault Scenic, Grand Scenic as well. I have to say I've been good to Renault. I'm not telling you I'm driving these days, but So what's the benefit of Renault being at the Royal Highland Show?
Well, it's just a great chance to promote the brand and also the local dealerships as well. So it's great to chat to the Scottish people, but also people all around the UK as well, because we are actually Renault UK, so we can let you know where your nearest dealerships are, and share all the knowledge here on the stand as well.
One of the things about Renault that I've found over many, many years is you're very innovative. You're always bringing out new things, and quite often you're at the forefront of new developments and things that are happening in the car market. And you know, you're pioneers, if you like, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. And Renault, they do stay true to the heritage as well. So that's unique because there's so many new modern cars coming out. It's lovely to see that style still there from years gone by, and with that modern touch as well.
As I said, it takes me right back to the Renault 5 GT Turbo. I'm living my youth again, Helen.
Absolutely, like many people here at the show today.
Wonderful to hear a bit of nostalgia there at the Renault stand. Well, throughout the course of the programme, Simon's been covering a lot of different things. Who have you got here now?
Thank you very much indeed. We're back out in the field, and we're back out in what looks like the blacksmith's hall with Donald, who's the steward here. Donald, tell me a little bit about what's happening here.
Well, this class here is the therapeutic class, so they have to make 2 shoes. One of them's a bar shoe, another one is just a flat shoe with a toe cap on it, and they get 55 minutes to make the 2 shoes.
And this is still very much part of the agricultural scene, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. And it's good to see so many young guys coming in and being involved with it as well, you know, trying to keep the old trade alive and just encourage them to come along.
That's good. What's your part here at the Royal Highland Show?
I've competed here for 41 years, and now I'm back stewarding just to give something back to the younger guys to kind of make it worthwhile, you know, encourage them, give them some advice. Whether they take it or not, it's up to them.
And I'm seeing some younger heads than ours here, so it's clearly something that's attracting younger people.
Yeah, unfortunately there isn't that many young guys coming into it, but it's good to see the young guys that are coming into it come and competing, sharing their knowledge, watching the older guys competing, getting some more experience and knowledge on what's going on as well.
I remember when I was a lad, and that wasn't yesterday, but a lad in suburban Edinburgh, and there were 2 blacksmiths within walking distance of our house, and we were kind of in the suburbs, not out in the country. You don't see that anymore. I mean, are blacksmiths still traditionally based at their forge, or are they on the road?
No, they're all on the road now. Very few actually are based at a forge, but they'll all have forges to just where they can make shoes and practice for competitions like this.
And how do you turn this into a competition?
Well, you just the judges, they make the specimen shoes, and then the competitors have to go and try and replicate what they've made, and then the judge will mark them on how close they are to what the specimens are.
Earlier we were in the trophy room here at the Royal Highland Showground. There are a couple of trophies there that will be awarded?
Yes, there's quite a few trophies, because we've got 7 or 8 different classes, so there's trophies for everything, for the apprentices and the seniors as well.
May I ask the maybe impertinent question, have you ever picked up the trophy yourself?
No. But I just enjoy coming to the Highland Show. It's the Highland Show, only time you meet up with lots of guys, and it's just good banter.
Well, that's fantastic. And there's probably a lot of people here who've never seen a blacksmith at work before.
Yeah. You know, there's a lot of grandparents come along with the grandkids, because they'd be walking home from school and stop off at the blacksmith shop and have a wee blow in the bellows and things, but you know, they never see it nowadays.
Well, thank you for giving us the opportunity to see, you know, maybe the next generation of blacksmiths in action. Donald, thanks so much indeed for your time.
No problem at all.
And with that, I'll hand you back to the studio.
Well, but you haven't heard that for a wee while. That was the winner of the Eurovision from about 2 or 3 years ago. Mans Zelmerlau. Rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? And that was a song called Heroes. Now, we all use power washers on our driveways, but nothing quite like the ones that Hugh Brown heard about from Leo, from Dirt Driver.
Leo, tell me about Dirt Driver then. What exactly does the company do?
So it's a small family-based business down in Somerset, manufacturing pressure washers since 1972. Everything is made down in Somerset. We all manufacture it ourselves, so we can pretty much make up anything within reason.
So we all know about pressure washers, our home pressure washers. How different are these industrial type ones?
So these bigger ones are mainly used by farmers and agricultural cleaners, and then we then do smaller household ones. So pretty much any kind of needs we can cater for.
What's the sort of power compared to a domestic one?
So we can do units such as 1500 psi, and then we can do a lot more powerful ones for pretty much all needs, like I said, yeah.
And compare a domestic one is what, 60, 80 PS? I'm not sure.
Yeah, about 600, I think.
Oh, is it right?
Yeah, for a smaller one, yeah. But then our ones we can do 1500, like I said, a lot more powerful.
So what will farmers use these kind of pressure washers for then?
So, for example, a customer of ours has one of these big trailers for cleaning out chicken pens and like disinfecting all the stuff like that, keeping it nice and clean, like using the steam stage and chemicals.
And actually, they use water, so they must go through a heck of a lot of water.
Yeah. So this right here is 1,100 litres, and then we have a 600 litre tank over there. So then they can then fill it up and take it out with them. They've got the water on the go.
And what's the advantage of Dirt Driver coming to the Royal Highland Show, do you think?
So we are quite big up here in Scotland. So then we have a lot of our customers come onto the stand, greet us. We can then actually put a face to the name, and then you can actually meet the people behind the business as well, which is good.
Hugh Brown, that was recorded a little bit earlier, and Hugh's back in the studio now. He's been chasing after Skippinish and failed.
Unsuccessfully, sadly. They were supposed to be doing a pop-up down towards the East Gate, which is where you get the bus in from town, the 98 bus, but if they did, they'd Skippinished off because...
They'd heard you were coming, I think.
They
probably.
Obviously did, but they will be playing tonight, and it is a debut for the Reeling, as it's called, as you were mentioning earlier on, and the line-up includes Brea Bach and Dougie McLean and Caledonia will play that shortly. Elephant Sessions, Canaris Q and Skippinish, as we said, and in fact the doors have already opened on that down at the other end of the Royal Highland Showground. So, but it should be a really good night of Scottish music, I'm sure, and people will thoroughly enjoy that to the late evening, no doubt.
Yeah, and of course we were talking to Miriam Plassard, who's one of the organisers of that particular event, and she was telling us that obviously the history from about 5 or 6 years ago when it started in Glasgow, and of course it's still very much a Glasgow thing, but they're trying to kind of take it into other parts of Scotland, which is good, Stuart.
It is, yes, they'll identify events that'll be a good fit. And that's an interesting mix of bands there when you're talking about Brebach obviously involved in that as well. So yes, and as you say, not the first year that they've held something of this nature at the show, and particularly on a weekend night like this, if the weather holds as we expect it will do, it's going to be a wonderful night.
Yeah, I certainly enjoyed interviewing Nathan Carter this time last year when that was he was the headliner last year here at the Royal Highland Show. But of course, interesting too because it's Transmit weekend as well through in Glasgow, so it's a big music week. But yes, Transmit is absolutely massive, and they were showing the match last night. They were showing the Scotland game, and Amy McDonald's on as well. It's not an event I've ever gone to at Glasgow Green, but I think it will be absolutely fantastic, particularly as Stuart said, with the weather is so nice. Do you ever in your younger days go to Glastonbury or think about it?
No, I haven't. I've been to some of the old country music festivals, Wembley and Portsmouth and stuff like that, seen quite a few acts, Johnny Cash and all of them. We're too old for that sort of thing now. Standing out for 8 hours at a time, we wouldn't last.
8 minutes
at all. 8 minutes probably. Yeah. Well, one of these acts, as you mentioned, was Dougie McLean, and he wrote Caledonia, of course. This is his version of Caledonia. To the acts you can see tonight at the Reeling here at the Royal Highland Show. That's Skippinish. That's a new single. It's called The Lifeboat, and it features Fisherman's Friends, and I absolutely loved that film, Fisherman's Friends, and the sequel as well. So Skippinish getting involved with that, and of course you also heard the original version of that song Caledonia, which was sung by Dougie McLean, who also wrote it, and well, a nice one to write, wasn't it, Stuart?
Very much so.
A few bob out of that.
Very much so. I don't know when a musician will maybe realise that he or she has penned something that's going to bring in royalties for a long time. I guess it maybe depends on the immediate reaction. Sometimes it can be a bit of a slow burner, or can be picked up some years later.
And yet the version that most people know will be by Frankie Miller.
Yes.
Not the Dougie McLean one. In fact, we've been having this discussion. Was he Dougie, Dougie? Because you say Dougie, I say Dougie, and Mr. McLean wrote Caledonia.
Yes, he did.
And but Frankie Miller's version is certainly the best known version.
And it's also it again opens up conversations and discussions, arguments about when there's a remake of a song, when another band or individual records something. You know, is the original always seen as the best version, or a lot of people maybe prefer an alternative version?
Well, we were talking about what the Scottish national anthem, which is Flower of Scotland, which is sung at Murrayfield, and is that the best song that Scotland has to be the national anthem? Debate now.
Debate, yes. Which one would you go for? You like yours a bit more up-tempo, don't you?
Yes,
sort of
well, I'm just
500 miles,
you know, by the time you get to the second syllables of Scotland, you've already dropped down. So you go, oh, flower, you know, so it's up and down immediately, because it's a ballad. You know, it was a ballad. It was to be played on guitars. It wasn't meant to be played, presumably, on bagpipes, because you can't play a flattened seventh on the pipe, so you can't get the right note for Think Again. So
a flattened seventh
would be your Think Again. So they have to play it, as Hugh was saying, just in a slightly different key for that. So, but it did work tremendously well on the 17th of March 1990 for that Grand Slam game. The David Sow walking out 52 or 55,000, I think was the capacity at Murrayfield at the time. It worked extremely well on that occasion. It is maybe open to debate whether or not, because of the alteration, because of the injection of a certain portion of supporters that go to watch rugby or football, and introduce their own one or two words at various intervals that I know Ronnie Brown does not like at all.
Ronnie of the Corries who wrote it.
Yeah, it would be interesting to know what Roy Williamson would make of that, especially I think when it's treated in such a manner in a national stadium. That does divide opinion.
Absolutely, but it's going to be a good night tonight, certainly here, and beautiful weather for it as well, which is fantastic. So Skippinish you heard as well with the Lifeboat, and they're going to be ending the show, I think, this evening in a big star-studded cast as well. Now, the Honey Tent, based by the West Gates, has attracted over 18,000 visitors in the first 2 days. Several beekeepers from across Scotland are present to tell you more about the art of beekeeping. One of them is Alistair Merrill.
This section of the Honey Tent is explaining how hives work. So we've got a model of a hive that is split vertically down the middle, so we can open it up and show people what is happening at each stage inside the hive. And then we've got a Smith hive that we can take apart and show people the brood box, the queen excluder, the supers, the crown board, the purpose of the porter bee escapes, and all of that. And that's a great way to introduce people to the complex structures of a hive and prepare them for what else they're going to see in the honey tent. We also have a lovely display of bee-friendly plants and flowers right at the entrance, and we give out leaflets to people to encourage them to plant bee-friendly flowers in their gardens.
And that is something over the last 5 or 10 years, I think there's been a concerted effort by a number of groups to do just that, to make people more aware of wild, I suppose you'd say wild gardening.
That's absolutely right, and the more people I talk to, the more people are interested in moving away from almost commercial gardening, use of pesticides, planting natural plants, looking at bee-friendly plants, and just making their gardens friendly, not just for honeybees, but for all pollinators, because they often get overlooked. When people talk about beekeeping and protecting the bees, actually it's protecting all the pollinators.
The hive serves such an important purpose, and if it's well looked after, it's something that you can have and you can use for many, many years into decades.
That's absolutely right. I mean, I use wooden hives, but polystyrene hives are also extremely good. They can be easier to clean. Wooden hives, if I'm using them from one colony to another, you take a blowtorch and you scorch them out, and that's actually quite fun to do. You get this nice black charcoal, and the bees love it. It means it's nice and clean and disease-free. But the cedar hives that are very popular, they're very environmentally friendly, they're not made with preservatives, and as you say, if they're well looked after, they will last for many decades.
Now, looking from the point of view of as an Edinburgh-based beekeeper, challenges have you had to overcome during what was an incredibly dry spring into what has become quite a dry summer? We've not had the rainfall we'd expect in the first 6 months of a year in Scotland.
Well, I've got 3 apiaries, and they have each performed very, very differently. 2 of them have done, one has done exceptionally well, and that's a small apiary just with 2 hives, and they're actually my 2 oldest queens. So it just goes to show that although a lot of people replace their queens every year, one of my queens is 4 years old, and she produced more honey this spring than any of my other hives. But one of my apiaries is really struggling, and they're not bringing in the forage. They did very well last year, but I've had to resort to feeding them to get them over the June gap, and I had no spring harvest from them at all. So it's really important to keep checking the stores in the hives to make sure that they've actually got enough. It's also really important to make sure that your bees have got access to water. And that's often overlooked, and particularly in a dry spring where there isn't much groundwater, even just putting some saucers out with a few stones in. And bees, they actually prefer puddle water to tap water. So if you've got some puddle water, or you just leave it and it goes a bit green, that's all right. The bees are fine with that, and they'll actually take nutrients from the algae growing in the water. And then the other thing, of course, that we always have to watch out for is disease. Varroa is a constant menace, and it's easy in the spring to overlook the need to check your hives for Varroa and prepare to treat if necessary in the autumn. And also chemical-free Varroa treatments are becoming increasingly popular. And also, of course, the notifiable diseases like especially the foul broods. Edinburgh has had a few outbreaks of European foul brood over the last few years. It's always a bit of a shock to a beekeeper when you get notification of foul brood in your area, and so apiary hygiene is exceptionally important. But what I would say is that if you're told that you're going to have a visit from the bee inspectors, it's not something to dread, it's actually something to look forward to, because they are so knowledgeable and they give you so much information that actually helps you to become a better beekeeper and helps you to remember the things that maybe you were taught 5-6 years ago but you've forgotten since, and it just reminds you not to cut the corners, particularly where hygiene's concerned.
Well, it made number 2 when it first came out in 1968, and then it was reissued, and yes, it made number 2 again. The unluckiest song never to make number 1. Bobby Goldsborough and Honey.
This is Summer Breeze with Stuart Cameron on TG9 Radio.
So joined in our little studio now by Simon Walton, who's been out and about as well today for us. And, well, the Royal Highland Show, it's something for everybody, isn't it?
It absolutely is, and it seems like everybody is coming here as well, because we get, 100,000 visitors thereabouts every time the Royal Highland Show is on. It's a marvellous event, and it's... it really is something for everyone. Yes, it's meant for the farming community, and they obviously are the mainstays of the show, but I've been out there and there are families from everywhere. This is possibly the closest that some get to the country. You're never going to actually get up close and personal with a heifer, with a sheep, with a belted Galloway, unless you come to the Royal Highland Show.
Yeah, and that's true, because you see them in the fields now and again, but to see them all collectively in the space of quite a small area, really, isn't it? I mean, it's big, but it's kind of compact.
Well, it is. I mean, most farmers would call this their back garden, quite frankly. But there's something about being that close to big animals when you're not used to it, that it's really magic. I've felt this like since I was 6, and I'm not 6 anymore. So the opportunity to get there and politely say engage, but to get to pet some of these animals, it's just I think it's wonderful. And it's not just about animals, of course. This is the whole gamut of the agricultural community here. Tractors, big machinery, all the people. It's a different world, quite frankly.
And you can spot them, can't you, right a mile off with the tweed jackets and everything.
They probably say the same about us, but let's be honest, there's a lot of tweed out there. There's a lot of brown brogues. It's, and a lot of thick country accents as well.
Now,
it's all part of the fun.
Absolutely. Now, of course, this is the third day. There's one more day to go. Temperatures hopefully will be quite warm tomorrow. A little bit of rain forecast as well, but you take your chances on that. But if you are coming and you've enjoyed what we've been doing today, make sure you plan ahead, because public transport and transport in general, it's difficult, isn't it? It's a challenge.
Look, this is a great venue. It's so great they've built an airport next to it. So, there's a lot of people trying to get into this part of the west of Edinburgh. So, you're going to have to be patient, because there's a lot of traffic. It takes a while to get here. The bus service from the centre of Edinburgh is fantastic.
That's the number 98 from the assembly rooms.
Absolutely, and several other stops along the way. I would highly recommend that. If you can leave the car at home, do so. And leave yourself extra time, because you'll get frustrated otherwise, just seeing so many people coming here to enjoy themselves is part of the fun.
And if you're coming in from the borders, I'd recommend obviously the train, which would come in, takes about an hour, but then you've got probably about a 10-minute walk to George Street and the assembly rooms. But the great thing about the 98 bus is that they literally leave every 5 minutes. However, the journey takes 50 minutes to an hour to get through town?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're coming another direction, get off at Haymarket, because the buses are stopping at Haymarket, which is really handy. That cuts about 15 minutes off your journey time. But try not to let that be the defining moment of your day. The time spent here at Ingleston is the time that you should remember.
So that's a little taster for you for when you come, and there'll be more from the Royal Highland Show here right here on TD9 Radio a little bit later. The magnificent Eugene Records, sadly no longer with us, lead singer and writer, of course, with the Shylights. That was Homely Girl, another of Hugh's favourites there. It's always nice to hear that. Oh, you didn't like that, did you?
No, I do.
Oh, you do like it?
Yeah, Shylights are fine. It's 70s, of course, as you well know. Stuart Cameron's 70s Music Vault,
Yes.
7 p.m. on a Monday on TD9 Radio.
That's right, yes. And Stuart, obviously, you like that as well.
What were the other hits by the Shylights?
Oh, come on. Do you want to know?
Yes, I want you to tell me.
Too Good to Be Forgotten was one.
Oh,
Girl.
Yes.
Oh Girl was one. It's funny, isn't it, when you actually put it to me like that? But that's 4 of them. What more do you want? The Coldest Days of My Life. Oh, and It's Time for Love.
Yes, I remember. It's Time for Love.
Well, there's 6. I would have won Ken Bruce's 3 and 10. Anyway,
you and I would be banned from Popmaster because we'd win it all. Even I would win it all the time.
No, you don't win anything.
That's
people have listened. They've got evidence of our Hugh and Stu Christmas specials.
The Christmas special is rigged because
I've never seen toys go out of a pram so
Highland
fast.
cows out of a pram, because you do a 70s Music Vault show, so you have a huge advantage, and therefore I claim an extra this year. I'm going to ask the referee, that's David Henderson, for a 10-point starter.
It's a joke, isn't it, Stuart? It's a joke.
Listen, I'm quite happy not even being asked to referee this discussion. I'm taking a step back.
Quite right too. Quite right too.
I can see a minefield in front of me.
We got 6 Shylights hits, or songs. I don't know if they were all hits, mind you.
But it was great the other day because he said it, and the 3 and 10 is Sweet. So I immediately went Little Willie, Wigwam Band, Blockbuster, Hellraiser, Love Is Like Oxygen. Teenage Rampage. Oh, it was great. Loved it. But I wasn't competing, so there we go. Anyway, you mentioned Highland cows. Of course, Highland cows are everywhere at the show, including on the Toyland stall. And he even went and blagged a Highland cow.
I did.
Shall we have a listen?
Tony, tell me about Toyland then. Obviously, it's a huge stand you've got here, a variety of things, focusing on the farm animals and also on the tractors and cars too.
Yes, we've been doing shows for over 50 years now. We've only been coming to the Highland Show for about 6 or 7 years, but we all do all shows all over Scotland, in England and Wales. And this is one of my favourite shows actually of the year to come to. But we've got a wide variety of all the branded tractors, and we actually have our own new range of radio controlled tractors just come in as well.
Wow, radio-controlled tractors. And you know, who buys those then?
Anybody really, anyone that just wants to come for a day out at the show, or we have a lot of farmers that are wanting to buy it, and we have a huge following that come back and see us every year and want to add to their collections.
Toy collecting, is that still a big thing in the UK?
It is, but not as much on shows anymore because the toys are now more widely available to people. They tend to buy them online because we don't have we used to have all the niche toys and the niche models, but now people can buy those online. We go for more the general products now.
So what's the most popular thing that you're selling, do you think?
I'd say the radio controlled this year.
Yeah.
We've had the Britons and the CQ has been previous years, but also we've got a lot of new squishies out this year, and so everyone's going crazy for the squishies at the minute.
What's a squishy?
What's a squishy? Oh my gosh, we've got squishy. It's like a little toy, like a fidget toy for, and we've got squishy Highland cows, squishy butter, dumplings. We've got all different ones this year.
The Highland cow is just everywhere at the show, isn't it?
I know, it's the mascot, isn't it, for the show, and so, yeah, they're everywhere, the Highland cows this year.
The weather's turned better today and tomorrow, thankfully, for you.
I know, it was a washout yesterday. We were very wet by the end of the day yesterday. We were ready to go to bed, that's for sure.
Have a good show, Tony. Thanks for speaking to me.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So what's your Highland cow like?
A Highland cow is a really lovely Highland cow, actually. I'll just grab it.
It's radio. You don't have to actually get it out of its
I do.
box.
I've got to show it to the listener.
Hang on.
Yes, Stuart McFadyen.
Oh, here
there he
it
is.
comes. It is nice.
Oh, he is. Is he made in Scotland? I bet he's not. But made in China. It doesn't actually. Does it say?
You realise you're holding him by the throat.
Oh, it's got a sound. It says squeeze me for sound. Hang on. Oh, typical.
It's not working.
She's given me one that doesn't work. It does.
I'm keeping him now. He's very soft and lovely. There he is. I'm going to put him over there and you can't get hold of him. So there we will fight you later on.
I hadn't realised he had sound.
Yeah, well, you know now. There we are, and you got that for nothing, didn't you?
Well, you're not meant to tell everybody that.
You're a blagger. Everyone knows that.
I mean,
Is that right, Stuart?
I've done not badly today. I've got an £11 burger.
Yes,
well hung. I've got a Highland cow.
Also well hung. What else have you got?
I didn't get much else actually today.
Oh, what a shame! What a shame.
That's almost like a contestant on Bullseye.
Yes.
Or
the
generation game.
You've kept out the black and
the
red.
One thing I didn't get to do today, and I wanted to, and you said this earlier, was have a go on the big wheel. You said they wouldn't allow me on the big wheel.
No, I wouldn't get off the ground. We love each other, really.
We do, really.
I tell you what, though, I've been stuck in the studio. You two have been out there, so I think it's about time I went out as well. So I'm going to head to the food hall, the Scotland's Larder. I don't know if it's still called that, but I'm going to pop out there, and I'm going to come back to you straight after we hear White Horses from Jackie.
1968.
Yes, it was indeed. Remember this? Cakesbyrebecca.co.uk is a stand you must come and visit. It is absolutely unique. I've never seen it before, so I'm presuming, Susan, that this is the first time, is it?
We were here last year as well, but now we've got a massive social media following, so I think we're more popular now.
They are so popular at the moment. Every other reel that comes up, someone's selling you a cake or something. Very competitive market, but you seem to have captured your own little corner.
We absolutely have. We have customers that are so loyal to us, and they're all fantastic.
Now, I think today your special offer is 5 cakes for £20, so it's £4 each, which is really competitive when you see the size of the portions that you get. But it's really important, obviously, for the brand to get out there, and obviously you feel the Royal Highland Show is the perfect platform.
We are local. We are in Blantyre and we're in the Barras. All our cakes are handmade in our bakery in Blantyre, so we are all about shopping local. We source all our ingredients locally as well, so that's what we're all about. The Highland Show is one of our favourite shows of the year.
So what would be a success from your point of view after the 4 days?
We are looking to just get more recognition and get more customers that recognise us and keep coming back.
So what are your specialities then? Because there's a whole list of cakes to choose from. We're here at the end of the day on Thursday and you've almost run out.
Our signature cakes really are our French fancies. We have loads of flavours of them, and our most popular is our Iron Brew French Fancy.
And we've seen all these flavours before, but you've got your individual stamp that you've put right on them.
Absolutely. Our cakes are all massive and they're all really great value. They're full of local ingredients and we love them.
So this is, as you say, your second time now at the Royal Highland Show. What's the history of the company then? It's a very modern one, isn't it?
Yes, Rebecca started the company 11 years ago and she has worked up herself and she is actually amazing. She has done so well for a woman in Scottish business. She's done amazing.
And social media is very, very important nowadays, and of course it lends beautifully to what you're selling.
It absolutely does. We have a really good following in social media, and all our customers who order online have their cakes delivered to their door. We've got a really great base.
Well, it's very difficult on the radio to actually describe these, but if you go to cakesbyrebecca.co.uk, they're all on there, aren't they?
They are, yep. You can have a wee browse on our website, or you can go and find us on the TikTok shop, or you can come down to the stall and see us with all our cakes.
Well, congratulations on what you've achieved, and Rebecca's achieved as well, and good luck at the show.
Thank you so much.
This is Summer Breeze with Stuart Cameron on TG9 Radio.
Now this is a place I always love, Ross's of Edinburgh, and you've been here before, of course. What's your name?
My name's Cheryl.
Hello Cheryl. I think we talked last year, possibly. Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
Yes, and you told us all about what you had on offer.
We've got a large range of your traditional Scottish sweeties, but we're also introducing new flavours every year. So this year we've got Biscoff fudge, Oreo fudge, to name a couple basically of the new flavours.
But it's really retro where you score big, don't you? I mean, look at these. We've got, well, I've never heard of Clove Rock before. What's that?
Yeah, Clove Rock is basically a hard-boiled sweet that's clove flavoured. Lots of people like it. It's a very popular sweet. Traditional hard-boiled sweet.
What's the most popular?
It's a tie-up between our Scottish tablet and, of course, our Edinburgh Rock.
Yes, of course, which is unique.
Yes, absolutely.
People have copied, but never quite the same.
Not quite got the recipe quite the same, so yeah, absolutely.
Because that's, for those who don't know, that's like a soft rock, nothing like your Blackpool Rock.
No, nothing like Blackpool Rock, so we call it a soft rock. Basically, instead of Blackpool Rock where you bite it, it's crunchy and hard. You take a bite of our soft rock, it just melts in your mouth, goes all creamy and releases the flavour.
Irresistible, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Because you've got like the ginger creams and the violet creams as well.
So they are the same texture and the same consistency of the sweet, but they're in the individual flavours, the ginger, violet creams. We do an Iron Brew flavour, rose creams, blueberry creams. We have quite a range.
Now the Iron Brew one, of course, you have to spell it differently, don't you? Not IRN, it's going to be IRON.
Yes.
Is that a copyright thing?
Yeah, that's a copyright thing. We buy in the Iron Brew flavour, but obviously for copyright reasons it's called Iron with IRON.
But you can do Biscoffy, no problem.
But I mean, it's Biscoff biscuity fudge because we use the Biscoff in the fudge itself.
An ingredient, effectively.
Yes, it is an ingredient,
Now you've got these handmade Scottish tablet trays, which I think are absolutely brilliant, just for a tenner as well. How can you possibly do that?
It's a show special, basically. They're just something a bit different. They're great for taking home. You can cut them up, you can share them, or you can eat them yourself. It's great for Father's Day, actually. Great gifts for Father's Day.
Oh, get in a plug there. Well done, well done. Which is tomorrow, of course. Haven't thought of a Father's Day gift yet? Make your way to Ross's of Edinburgh and the stand, obviously.
Absolutely, we'll be happy to see you.
I bet you will. Now, do you have a favourite?
The surplums are my favourite.
Surplums?
Yes, they're a traditional Scottish sweet, so I would say that probably younger generations are more inclined to go towards a jelly sweet or a chewy kind of sweet.
Yeah. And whatever happened to acid drops?
I think
were they banned?
I don't think they were dropped. I don't think so. They've probably changed their name.
Obviously, Royal Highland Show is very important to you.
Yeah, absolutely. We love coming to the Highland Show. We've been for 5 or 6 years probably, and it's always a great show for us. We love meeting our customers, getting feedback on packaging, flavours, and that kind of thing.
And you do take that on board?
Yes, absolutely. Yep, we're a small company, so we take on board feedback about particular flavours, or if there's a very old retro sweet that's been stopped in production. We can do smaller runs, so we're able to give them a try and just see if they take off again.
And it's all made in the factory in Edinburgh, is that right?
That's correct. Our premises are in Bonnyrigg.
Well, it's always a pleasure to come here. I know that we'll be back next year as well, and good luck for the rest of the show.
Thank you very much.
SlaineSauces.com is the next stand that I'm at. Mari is here. Oystercroft Limited is your company that makes these. I always associate oysters with savoury, but these are sweet sauces. Tell me more.
Mainly sweet sauces, all with alcohol in them. That's why they're called Slainte Sauces, as in Slangeva. The story that we started making them is when my father started an oystercroft on the Isle of Lismore over 30 years ago, and myself and my husband, we returned from Australia just about 2014, 2015. That's when we started selling the oysters from the family farm at markets. But when we went to markets, a lot of people would go, I'm not trying that oyster, I've never tried one before, it doesn't look very appealing. We thought it got to be a way of encouraging folk to try them. So I thought, I bet you if I add whiskey or gin, tequila, they will. And sure enough, as soon as I said, here's an oyster with some whiskey, there was a queue. And that's when the idea came about doing sauces. But we pivoted over during COVID to go from a savoury sauce just for oysters into dessert sauces. And now they've become a kind of a Scottish souvenir, Scottish gifting sauce. So we classify it as sort of gifting and gathering for the sauces. And we sell in outlets that cater towards the gifting, we're in all the Scottish castles, we are in the Scottish hotspots, and that's how we've really sort of developed, that's where it's come from.
It's a fantastic idea, and it's unique, isn't it? I mean, that's what you've got to do in the marketplace. You've got to find something which stands out.
Yeah, very unique. That has been kind of maybe a bit of a difficulty because it's getting people educated, the customer educated in what they use it for, because a lot of people at first were, oh, is it a drink? And I was like, no, this is for your desserts, it's something completely different. And we've since, we started with people, recipes that people would know, like your rum and salted caramel, a raspberry ripple that was made with Bacardi for their ice cream or Prosecco. But the last couple of years went on to create clouty dumpling in a bottle, which is a world first, and a Cranachan in a bottle, which is another world first. So they're whiskey and rum dessert sauces, but with, again, going towards the Scottish heritage. And we've released our wee gift boxes, and we won awards at we're a finalist at the Highlands and Islands Food and Drink Awards there for our new gift packs.
And that really helps the old sales, doesn't it?
Yes, our awards doing. The first year we released our sauces, we won one for a rum and salted caramel at the Scottish Specialty Food Show. We won for bronze for that one within our category. So absolutely delighted to come off released in September and win our first award. And then with our gift boxes, we just released them in September already, and we're up for awards for that too.
Well, marketing is very important these days, and of course social media, TikTok, Instagram, all that kind of thing. Do you get involved in the little short reels?
I think the same as many of us are producers, we can't stand kind of being the face of our product. We'd rather just get our product out there and sell it. It's very hard for us to, especially when we're in sort of more rural areas, we're not used to maybe speaking publicly or showing our faces. And that is a difficulty because people kind of want that. That's what they're all saying, how do you grow your brand? Is where you put yourself out there on social media. Well, that is quite a difficult aspect of selling.
So what's the dream then? Because a lot of people would say, oh, we want to get it into Marks and Spencer's and Tesco's and Asda and all the rest of it. They take huge commissions, though. You're left with hardly anything. The alternative, though, is to kind of control everything yourself and just make an honest living yourself doing what you love.
Yeah, well, it's quite a unique product. It doesn't have a category because it doesn't fit into the food and the drink category in a supermarket or a drink category. So it is more the gift shops, that's what we're selling to. We were on Aldi's Next Big Thing, which was fantastic for publicity, but I knew going in that we were not going to be a supermarket product. We're just not a supermarket brand, but we are for your small delis, farm shops, your tourist shops, your gifting shops. The destination-led gift shops, you know, as I said, we're in like the big four castles. Hampers is a big section for us because they do make their food gifting, so they're lovely in hampers for people, and they're that unexpected thing that people are like, oh, this is something very different.
It's lovely talking to you. All the best. I hope this little bit of publicity helps as well, and you'll get a few bottles sold as well. But Mari, thank you very much indeed.
And thank you. That's lovely. Thank you.
Chasing never let me go.
Let's move on to the Isle of Mull Seaweed store now, here at the Royal Highland Show. And Tara McPhail is with me, and telling me about seaweed, because a lot of people think of seaweed and they go yuck, but things have changed now, haven't they?
Yes, I think more and more people are becoming aware of the sustainability of the seaweed. Its many health benefits. It's full of loads of vitamins, loads of minerals, brilliant food source.
How did you get into seaweed?
So I was lucky enough to travel to Japan when I was younger. Noted how much seaweed was part of their diet. Came back to Mull, where we're based, and they were surrounded by seaweed that nobody seemed to be using as a food source. So yeah, trying to encourage my young family and my husband to eat seaweed, and I'd made chutney before. So yeah, thought the two things might marry well together, and they did, and here we are with a product for sale.
And the husband's really bought into it now because he's out farming, isn't he?
So yes, he is the main seaweed harvester these days, so we both go out and harvest the seaweed. The type of seaweed we use for the chutney is kelp. So yeah, it was only accessible maybe once or twice a month with the tides being low enough. So yeah, we go both out harvesting.
So it's kind of like free food for you, is it?
Well, yes, the Crown, and there's certain permissions and things like that you have to have. But yes, it's a good, wonderful resource. And if you're harvesting it correctly, it's a really sustainable food source as well.
Have you ever been out farming and spotted somebody else doing the same thing and saying, hang on, this is my patch?
No, because it's not a widely used thing. And it grows in such abundance around Scotland that I don't think it wouldn't be a problem if they're as long as they're picking it sustainably and not ripping the plants up, like going round and just cutting a portion of the plant off.
So was it when you were in Japan that you had that light bulb moment that you can, make a business out of this?
Well, no, I think I was maybe about 18 or 19 when I was there, so no, I didn't really have that in mind. But yeah, it's always something that stuck in the back of my head, why it was so widely eaten in Asia and not so much in Scotland. So
when did Isle of Mull seaweed come into fruition?
So I think we sold our first jar of seaweed chutney in May 2019, and then we kind of just at local markets started stocking a couple of local shops. Then COVID hit, so we kind of shut down for a while and then restarted. So we've got about 75 stockists now.
Wow.
We are at a lot of shows like the Royal Highland Show, online shop as well.
And of course online is absolutely suited to you, isn't it?
Yeah, we're in a pretty rural area, so coming to events like this is quite costly. It costs a lot of time as well. So online is really good for us. We can reach quite a broad network of people.
I was going to say, because obviously, it isn't cheap, is it, to have a stall here? We all know that.
Yeah.
So you have to find a success somewhere, whether it's in sales or awareness of the brand, etc.
Yes. These are great for brand awareness. There's several people that we've met today that are possibly going to stock us in the future. Great for meeting people, great for getting our product out there. It's quite an odd thing, seaweed chutney, so being able to allow as many people as possible to taste it is great for us.
Well, it's nice to talk to you and nice to give you a little bit of coverage for your Isle of Mull seaweed. And if anyone wants to get in touch, what's the website?
So we're at www.isleofmullseaweed.com. So
as simple as that.
Yes.
We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, well, I just managed to get back into the studio in time after talking to those people in the food hall. Thank you very much indeed to them.
What were you doing in the food hall? Come on, you know that food is my domain.
It is, but just for a change, I would go there. Mind you, you're not really into seaweed, are you?
No, not really.
Mind you, Ross's was nice. They gave me some sour plumes.
Oh, you got sour plumes.
I got sour plumes. I didn't get a burger or a Highland cow.
No.
Remember the Highland cow? If you just tuned in, you got one of these. You see, a little soft Highland cow. We have found out, though, made in China.
I need a name for my Highland cow. What can I call him, Stuart? What can I call him, Stuart?
Just thinking about that, I don't know.
Shut up. It's getting annoying now. Go away.
It was mud, and of course it's the one thing today we haven't had any of in the Royal Highland Show is mud, because it's not been raining. Yesterday they would have had quite a lot of mud, I suspect.
Thank you, Hugh. And
that was my weather report.
Rolling back the years.
But we've been joined by this fly that keeps flying around in our little studio.
That's what
here.
flies do, Stuart. They fly around.
Funny that, isn't it? It will affect your mental health as well. And talking of which, actually, mental health, of course, the big issue in the farming community, and there's a charity down here called RSABI which offers support to farmers, and Hugh Brown went along, had a chat with Joanne.
Tell me a bit about the charity. Who does it help?
So the charity is mainly for agricultural people. They give mental health support as well as financial support for the agricultural family. I am one of the health hut nurses, so this is our 3rd anniversary of starting up. We started supporting, again, agricultural people. We go out to agricultural shows, to the cattle marts, and we're basically grabbing the farmers who don't go to their doctors and checking their blood pressures. That's our main thing. As well as having a general health chat with them. It does bring up mental health sometimes. We promote different things at different times. This year we are promoting prostate cancer research, so that's our big drive this year, especially for the men. We also go over, so we've got tick removers on our table, so that's, ticks are a big thing, especially in some of the areas where there's little sheep, a lot of deer, in the areas, and then that can bring on, the Lyme disease. They're big carriers of Lyme disease.
Farming can be a lonely existence, can't it? That must be part of the mental health problems that some people in the farming community suffer from. Yes.
So that's one of the big things, because farmers are, so lonely, or can be lonely. They need support. So we've got the helplines, so they can have a phone call, have a chat to somebody, just about anything.
And COVID and lockdown wouldn't have helped that.
No, definitely not. That was a lonely time for a lot of people, not just in agriculture.
It's interesting you're looking at the farmers' health, because and taking people's blood pressure. When you don't want to take mine, by the way. I suffer from high blood pressure. I'd break the machine. But it's important for farmers to keep on top of their health, as it is for everybody.
Yes. As I say, like farmers don't often go and get checked out, and quite a lot of illnesses are not noticeable until somebody picks up. So we have had a lot of farmers and people related to farming who, we have picked up blood pressures being quite high. They've gone and got treatment and come back to us and said, "Thank you, for doing that. We wouldn't have thought about it had we not been in the cattle mart one day and they came along." So yeah.
You mentioned prostate cancer that you're highlighting. It's such a big issue for men over 50 who are not given regular checks or don't go to the doctor and ask for a PSA check, a blood test. But it's so important, isn't it? Because it's one of the biggest killers of men.
It is, yes, and it's a relatively hidden illness too. Yeah, as you say, unless you kind of get these checks, a lot of people don't know until it's maybe a bit too late. But it's very important, and we're totally pushing it this year for everybody to highlight it anyway, and maybe go and get a check. Ask your GP if you can get a check. The blood test is a simple blood test, and that is the start of it, really.
Joanne, thank you for talking to me. Thank you for all the good work that you're doing.
Thank you. No, thank you for highlighting us.
Always happy to highlight them, and you enjoyed meeting Joanne, didn't you?
I did, yes. I had my blood pressure taken just after we did that. Yes, I broke the machine, basically. First one was 168/112, which is very high. But I do suffer from high blood pressure. I'm on tablets for that. She said, I'll take it again, because quite often you're uptight and you've been running around all day.
So you running around?
Well, I did. So
Walking
again, it
very
was
slowly.
150 over 98, and Stuart McFadyen knows all about blood pressure and things over the past couple of years. That's still high, Stuart. It's in the high range.
Yeah, the diastolic, the second reading is quite high at 98, I suppose. The systolic, they're looking at maybe nearer 125, 130, I suppose.
Well, boys, we're almost at the end of the programme.
No.
Have you enjoyed yourselves?
I had a great time, yes.
What's your highlight, apart from getting the Highland cow?
Oh, the Highland cow is definitely the highlight. Yes.
There he is. There we go. Just the one.
I think the highlight for me was the 10-minute shush.
It's getting a bit annoying now.
Yes, it was the 10-minute foot massage.
Yes, you like that, didn't you?
Oh, fantastic. And a very clever idea to make a piece of furniture or a foot massager look like a piece of furniture, actually. So that was really good. Very relaxing.
And what about you, Stuart?
Stealing 3 minutes from Hugh when we both recorded, John. No, seriously, no, that's not. I think, and I maybe gave a similar answer last year, the variety. Just the variety of stands, the variety of people. Being able to come on 2 days, where one day the weather wasn't great and it was quite a bit quieter today, and today it's been very, very busy, and you can see such a broad swathe of people coming to the show, and obviously today being a Saturday tends to be a much greater proportion of families here today. So no, I think the whole thing, and of course I have an interest again in the honey tent, so they're going there and seeing people I know win prizes. That was rather nice.
I've enjoyed it so much. I'm coming back tomorrow actually with the family. I bring the lovely Elaine and also Sarah and Callum, and we're going to come back again tomorrow.
Yes, that's right, and it's going to be even hotter tomorrow.
I will definitely be wearing the shorts tomorrow. You have been warned, people who are coming tomorrow.
That should keep them
I will
away.
be showing my legs.
This is it. The only
talk about the travel though, Stuart.
Yeah,
yes.
Well, Simon, for those of you that were listening a short time ago, and Simon Walton was talking about travel, particularly from the Edinburgh city centre, and you asked the question about coming from the borders. The trams are also running, obviously, out to Ingliston Park and Ride, and from there, there's a single-decker bus that will take you. I mean, it's probably about a 15-minute walk from the Park and Ride, and there's only one crossing of the main road that would take you to and from the airport, and that is well policed. But there is a shuttle bus that takes you as well from Ingliston, and I've used that in the time as well. Obviously the east and west car parks have been very, very busy. So that's something to bear in mind as well.
And that just about wraps things up for Summer Breeze. We'll be back next month when we visit the Border Union Show at the end of the month at Kelso. We'll also be here on TD9 Radio from the 5th to the 31st of August when we launch Fringe Radio at the Edinburgh Fringe. We're all looking forward to that. 27 daily shows going out at 10 o'clock each night right here on TD9 Radio, so something to look forward to in the future. But for now, from Stuart McFarlane, Simon Walton, Hugh Brown and me, Stuart Cameron, a very good afternoon.